Hi, friends. Give me a second while I put my headphones on. Oh, whoops. There we go. Ooh, I'm just getting myself organized. Okay. Oh, let me move. Please hold while I move the tripod behind me because no one wants to see that while I'm live. Also, I didn't realize I was going to be holding a dog during this, but apparently that is what is required of me. Ooh! No one's going to be able to see, but I have a hawk behind me and a Torres pillow, which honestly is very like Poppy-esque. Okay, you ready? Ooh, hold on, child, you are caught on my paw. Okay. All right, I'm just fixing my hair, grabbing my phone. I got to put my Instagram post. I'll come live with you guys really quick. Hello, friends. Okay, you guys get to be here while I do this. Hold on a second. I'm going to take a quick selfie. It's going to take 2 seconds. And then, so we can tell everyone on YouTube we're live. Or on Instagram. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, wait, that's an awful photo. We're not going to do that one. Nope, that's not good either. I'm really not getting this photo now. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, live for the War of Two Queens. I can't wait for this. Hoping for the joining. Oh, we'll talk about the joining. The logistics of the potential of a joining situation. Okay, while I'm getting the link for the YouTube for everyone else who hasn't seen it, let me explain to you what's going to happen. So tonight we're kind of doing like a bit of a casual session. Meaning it's just going to be a lot of chatting, lots of, general conversation around the War of Two Queens, or I should say non-spoiler conversation, because I'm obviously not going to spoil it for you guys. And then we are also going to be, there we go. Perfect. Now you have my full attention. And then we're also going to be doing a little bit of like, I don't want to say trivia, but like possibly a this or that. Some people asked about viewing a map or some family trees. So we have a few things that we're going to look at. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and then the other thing is the Slido code. So let me go ahead and give you guys access to that. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So here is the code for tonight because YouTube's comments are a bit laggy. So if you have a question or a topic that you want us to discuss, you can go here. Or if you go to slido.com, the code is the War of Two Queens. There you go. So those are all of the fun information that you need for tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and welcome in my guests because they are obviously here. You can see besides the cords, I have my my Castile candle lit, and then I have all my blood tree fun stuff behind me. Okay, let me go ahead and admit everyone. All the people. Admit. Hi, guys. Look at how cute everyone looks. Oh, I'm muted. I didn't realize that. Oh, hold on. I can't hear you. They can't hear you. Now we can hear you. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
There we go.
Good.
I always end up on your left.
What?
I always end up on your left.
Yeah, you do. I don't know why that happened. Maybe it's no, that wouldn't make any sense. I was gonna say alphabetical, but like steel is on my right, so that makes no sense at all.
Oh, I don't know why it just says steel. That's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, here. Let me give you the code, Kate, just in case you need it as well. Perfect. So, I'm like so excited. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things. I know the first thing, I don't even remember. I sent you guys an agenda and I'm like, I should probably look at the agenda that I sent you guys. Okay. So the main thing I wanted to do first off is introduce everyone. Cause I know some people first off, Katie, I'm a little disappointed because last time we did this, you dressed as Poppy.
Absolutely.
Say it. I knew you were gonna say that the second I got on.
Like,
I just got Peloton, so I just like tried to make myself look like a human more than making
Oh.
a copy. But
Wait,
you know,
who's
Good for you.
wait, first off, okay, pause, because what instructor are you currently loving?
what's her name? Tundi.
Yes! She's the best! I'm literally gonna get on my Peloton this week, so I'm like really excited because I love my Peloton. We should add each other. And you
Okay, can we Peloton together?
No, but absolutely not. But I'll let you see my account and see when I get on, and you can see all the beginner classes that I take. So
Okay, fair.
yeah, okay, hold on. Let me just make sure. There we go. Love Tunde. I know she's the best. Okay, so let me go ahead and so the first thing I wanted to do was just like have everyone introduce themselves. We can start with Avery, then go read these fics, Izzy. We can go Kate, Foliage and Kate, who is literally our From Blood and Ash expert. What?
You said Foliage and Kate.
Did I say foliage? I said Foliage and Kate. Yeah. Foliage and fiction. You know what it is? It's because both of you have fiction in your names, and I'm like, I want to be like Freckles and Avery, and I'm like, that's not right. And then
that's because Avery helped me come up with my new name when I was like, I want to combine my like book stuff and my plant stuff. She helped me come up with it. That's why it's so similar.
Technically, I helped come up with foliage. She had the and fiction part.
What was your old name?
I just had it was just like my normal like name. Like
it wasn't
anything fancy.
Oh, it was.
And then I had a plant account that was like KT Plants, and I was like, this is lame. I need something.
Oh my
more
God.
Fun.
I love that. Okay, and then hi Ashley. I just saw Ashley showed up, so I wanted to make sure I said hello to her. Okay, so
Ashley and I are cup twins tonight.
Okay, see, I just have the Rowan one, so. Oh, I love it. Ooh, a red cup. What is everyone drinking tonight? Anything good?
I have a Truly.
Just water. I have a Moscow Mule.
Okay, well, Kate wins with the Moscow Mule.
But it's a wolf. Like I brought little Kieran with me. So.
Of course you did.
I love that. Speaking of dogs, Lois, guys, this is a big deal.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
She's still sleeping on my lap right now.
No, she isn't.
Yeah, she is. Like she's like fully passed out on my lap. What? Which I'm like, I just need to mark this moment because if you know anything about my dog, she like loves me but also doesn't love me. So like this is a big deal that she's like sitting on my lap. So I'm kind of like, maybe that we're like talking about, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, your boyfriend, because you could get with Kieran. He would actually probably really dig you. You're just as stubborn as Poppy is, and that might be a thing that he might be down with. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start with Avery and then go to Izzy and then Kate, Foliage and Fiction, then Kate Lynn, then KT. Why did we put all the Kates together? This is a nightmare. And then Ashley at the bottom. Oh, are you leaving me? Wait, before you go, say hi to everyone. Oh. Say hi, everyone. Say, I'm actually the color of Kieran.
Mm-hmm. A true fact.
Yeah, okay. Give me a kiss and then go. Thank you. Okay. All right, Avery, you go first.
Okie dokie. Hello everyone. I am Avery. I am Freckles in Fiction on TikTok and Instagram. And basically my entire world revolves around Gwynreal, but I occasionally step out of that comfort zone and read books like From Blood and Ash and Bridge Kingdom and all kinds of stuff. I'm mostly fantasy or contemporary romance. I'm on a mafia kick right now, but whatever.
We love that journey for you.
A journey for me. Love that journey for me. I am made fun of for being too much like Alexis Rose, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Okay, Izzy.
Thanks, Alexis. So I'm Izzy. I'm Read These Fics on TikTok, and I am Davis Danner on AO3. I write Gwynreal fan fiction. Most recently, A Court of Light and Melody. And I do a lot of Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. I do a lot of videos with Avery and Taylor's Book Talks, where we talk about theories and debate people's theories. They go on for sometimes 4 hours. All right, take it away.
That's okay. I was going to say, I feel like there's no better introduction for Kate, Foliage and Fiction, than saying that she's here to make sure we all are correct on our facts. because That's all. The amount of times Kate will correct me so politely, by the way, because I am so much meaner than she is, and she's so sweet. But I have to now just let Kate explain. Because, by the way, Kate's just one quick thing, and again, to promote Kate, she was all over my Instagram today because so many people were like, "Have you seen this girl's notes? Like, can we find this girl's notes?" So I just love that. Like, I was jokingly saying, I was like, I collect book talkers like I collect Pokemons, and Kate was one of those collections to make sure I got my From Blood and Ash facts right.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, so I'm Kate, fully into fiction on TikTok and Instagram, and For Blood and Ash is like my big main crazy theory book series that I am insane about. And I do all the other ones that are popular in the romance and the fantasy, but From Blood and Ash is like my baby, and I have spent way too many hours detailing out notes and everything for it. It's actually insane.
You're in good company, so it's fair. Caitlin.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. I am Mountain Reader on TikTok, and I am Mountain Reader 19 on Bookstagram. I would say I'm a huge SJM fan, which probably most of you are too. I would say Mystic Fury is still pretty high for me, but we know I loved Post Tab a whole lot. I would say that From Blood and Ash is like my favorite series that is outside of the SJM whatever. I really have dived into a lot of JLA books in 2021, and I love them. Like, they're like really good. So I am excited to continue reading more of JLA, and I'm very excited for tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you read Dark Elements, which, like, listen, people need to get on that train because it's so good.
Roth is like, he's up there.
I know.
I love Roth.
I know. Listen, I know this isn't From Blood and Ash Live, but I just have to quickly shout out the fact that if you think the dialogue in From Blood and Ash is good, Dark Elements with Roth is like a million times better.
Love Roth.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's got like so many tattoos and all these little like babies.
Oh my God, Bambi. I could talk. I was like, I never wanted a snake tattoo until I met Bambi. So just throwing that out there.
Wait,
I have questions.
Yeah, what?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Have neither one of you read it?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
read it.
you need to read it.
My friend Millie has, and she high praise.
It's like
it's on my TBR.
the Dark Element series. I would say it's like your Buffy the Vampire. Like, just know that. And then Harbinger, which is the spinoff series that follows it, is like your Charmed meets Supernatural.
You're using all the right words, sister.
Oh, we just went from like mafia kick to
Yeah. And you like, okay, this is a good way to sell it. You know how like, well, this is the way I can sell it to them. This is the way I can sell it to them. So, you know how people get really upset about part 4 of Crescent City?
Yeah.
Nothing will beat something that happened in the Dark Element series where I literally had to put the book down and I was screaming for like an hour.
Sarah.
That is not selling it. You
You
sadist.
Really, you guys love a good Mortal.
I love Mortal Peril, but you didn't say Mortal Peril. You said like
It was just really
I do
upsetting to
remember
me.
that evening on Marco Polo for losing your mind.
So upset. I was so upset. Okay,
That's
Katie.
what part you're talking about, because I gotta know. I don't know what exact.
It has to do with the tattoo. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Avery, if you read this, I'm not reading it alone.
No.
okay, we buddy read this.
Yeah.
We'll buddy read. We'll
Yeah.
buddy read.
Okay,
Yeah.
Katie and then Ashley. Sorry, I keep interrupting everyone's talks.
Hi, I'm Katie. Katie and a Kindle on everything. Definitely SJM is my favorite, but love JLA too. And I think like my book series that's like my outlier that like I try to get everyone to read and then everyone complains about is like the Crave series, which by the way, Caitlin made me read first. So it's
Oh my
her
God.
So, like Caitlin and I are like the only ones that are like obsessed with this. We make everybody else read it, and then Ashley had to suffer through it and make her notes. But I love it, and I will continue talking about it until the day I die. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk.
We appreciate it. And then
Okay.
Ashley.
Amanda.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley. Books are my third place on everything, and favorites. We're saying our favorite series or authors. I'm definitely old school. I love Lord of the Rings. That's like my all-time favorite. I could talk for hours and hours about it. But I also love more of the more recent fantasy series that we all love, which is why we're all here.
Yeah.
And I also read a little bit of everything. Like, I love historical fiction. I love a good business book. So I'm kind of not stuck in one genre. I like to read a little bit of everything. The only thing I don't like is contemporary. So I know a lot of people love that,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
just not.
fair. Well, and you typically also don't like the ones that are like uberly spicy. Like you like a good spice, but nothing super
Right.
crazy.
I like minimal spice. I'm good with fade to black.
How are
Minimal
you? How
spice
are
is
you with the
good.
Chronic Guild of Bones?
That was a little too much for me.
Oh Lord.
So I'm a little worried about this book.
Okay, so great. I'm gonna go ahead and start saying some of the questions in Slido because we have quite a few. And this is a good one to start with. So, which book in the series so far, including A Shadow in the Ember, because everyone here has read it, and I told everyone to read it because by the time you get to the War of Two Queens, you're gonna want to read it. Is your favorite, and where? Oh, they also okay. I'll answer the last bit, which is where is the War of Two Queens rank for you? But for everyone, which one's your favorite?
I think like my favorite was the first from Blood and Ash, just
Okay.
because it's the world and I love the dynamic between Poppy and Cass. But honestly, like my second favorite was A Shadow in the Ember. And I know it was like a very similar storyline and everything, but like I just loved their dynamic. And also going into it, I thought it was a one book spinoff. So I was very upset at the end.
Oh, I
I
can
thought
imagine.
everything was going to be resolved, and it is not. So
No.
Yeah, I see. We have a lot of people saying a site right now. Anyone else?
Yeah. So my favorite is Gilded Bones, but like Katie, A Sight is like my second favorite. And I think what's interesting about A Sight is that I read it very slowly over the course of like a week because I had like a beach trip, but then I started like rereading bits of it as we've been doing these notes. And so like as I've been like typing the notes, I'm like, oh, I forgot about this banter. Oh, this is top tier. Oh, this world building. Oh my God. And so like I've been able to like re-find my love for that book.
Yeah.
And remember why I liked it so much the first time. So
Yeah.
that's been fun.
I feel like I'm completely alone in mine.
You are.
Which one's
Okay.
yours?
Maybe not.
Kingdom of Flesh and Fire was my favorite.
No, I don't think you
That's
are.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just thought the character develop. I know that people thought it was a bit slow, but the Dead Bones clan was so cool,
Yeah.
and I really loved the. This sounds weird. I really loved the launching of the heads because that is an old medieval tactic.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and it also has my favorite moments, which is like the underground cove, the wedding, the cheese platter. That is my favorite when that man finds the right cheese.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Ashley? You were taking photos of the books and you put a cheese plat.
I did put a cheese cutter on there.
It's amazing.
I was like, if you know, you know.
Izzy, I thought you were going to talk about how you didn't love A Sight. So that's what I thought.
No,
you were.
that wasn't. I wasn't gonna out myself, but thank you for that.
That's fine. Someone else said that they didn't really love a site either. So that's okay. It's not everyone's favorite.
You're allowed to not love it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
just-
I think A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I'm with you, Izzy. That was I think my favorite. It's when they fell in love, and I loved all those moments seeing that. And there's also like Mortal Peril. It's just great. It's just great.
Top tier.
And we start getting like a few more answers. And then I really did fall in love with Niktos and Serafina. So I love A Sight.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Kate, what about you?
That was my thing. I really like a Kingdom of, like, they're all within like a quarter point on the star scale. So it's like whatever. But I think it's still a Kingdom of Flesh and Fire is still like my favorite. And I love A Sight, but I think I still struggled with like it having too many similarities to From Blood and Ash. So like if I read it before From Blood and Ash, it probably would have been my favorite.
That's fair.
But I actually do like Sarah and Niktos more than Poppy and Cass.
Well,
so even though A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire is my favorite.
Yeah. For me, the Crown of Gilded Bones is my favorite because of all the world building and like the insanity and the
Mortal Peril.
The Mortal Peril, which I think I've reread more than anything. And then someone asked where the where the War of Two Queens ranks. I can't speak. Ranks for me. And it is just a tiny bit below the the Crown of Gilded Bones for me, which I think is going to be unpopular I think most people are going to like it more than the Crown of Gilded Bones. And the only reason is because I, like many of us, I read it right after Hosab. Like I didn't have enough of a break, and I think I pushed through it a little too hard and didn't really enjoy it. So I'm curious to see on a reread if it moves up higher, because there are a lot of really beautiful moments in that book that stand out just as close as the Crown of Gilded Bones. So it's a close tie for me. Oh, this is an actual question that people asked in the last live that we didn't get to. So I'm sure Kate is going to step in and clarify this, but someone wanted to know the difference between an ascended, a vampire, an Atlantean, a god, a deity, and a chosen. So basically,
I'm gonna let Kate take that one.
So basically explaining what everything is and like trying to break it down. So I'll let you take it away, and then if we need to kind of break it down, we can.
Okay. Well, for starters, I think just moving forward, you don't call anything an ascended, because what they refer to as an ascended in From Blood and Ash is a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the different creatures that we meet, that they all go through some sort of ascension. So calling something an ascended is kind of confusing.
Hey, that's a great point.
So a vampire is what like the Duke and Duchess were, and Ian was, and basically they this gets very complicated. So vampires are caused by people without, how do I start this?
Hold on, I'm going to pull up your notes. Is it better if I pull up your notes and you can walk
I feel like,
through?
should I go down, trickle down from the top?
Yeah, do you?
However you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my understanding is basically there is like the positive, nice side of creating like this extended life, and then there's this very negative side. And the negative side stems from Colas, who basically is this fake life power.
Mm-hmm.
And so this person assumption is working on making some sort of army, people to basically do his deeds for him. And he changes people by ascending them, taking them to the brink of death, feeding them blood. And if they have a certain gene, they can turn into what's known as a revenant, which is basically not killable. The only thing that will kill it is the fire from a Draken. And you can remove their head, limbs, stab them in the heart, whatever, and they'll come back. And we meet one of those at the end of the Crown of Gilded Bones, but we don't know her name yet.
No, we don't.
And then the other side of that is people who have not, did not have that gene and go through this ascension, come back as vampires, and they have a crazy, crazy bloodlust. They have a hard time controlling it for months or years after they are ascended. And then they have to continue to feed almost daily for the rest of their seemingly almost immortal lives, probably thousands of years.
Yeah.
And then their bite actually causes the curse, which is what we see in the Craven. So if they feed from someone and don't fully kill them, they turn into a Craven, which is the crazy creatures we saw at the beginning of For Blood and Ash.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all the evil creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not necessarily evil.
Right.
I should say that. They're not necessarily evil. A lot of them are manipulated and are possibly even forced to go through these transitions.
Yeah.
So then the good side is stuff that is created from the Ember of Life, which we now know from a site is in Sarah, not Nyktos. So we have in From Blood and Ash, they have a list of primals. In this list of primals, they have one god, Perus, Perus, who is considered a fake god. He's not actually real. They call him the god of the right. So ignoring him, all the other gods, we see their names come up in A Shadow in the Ember, and they're actually not primals. So in From Blood and Ash, in that series going into it now, they believe that the way it works is that there's the primals, and that gods are the children of primals, and that deities are the children or grandchildren of the gods,
Mm-hmm.
which we know is incorrect if you've read a site. So this is where it gets a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
So then when you go into a site, we can make the assumption based on the way we learn primal power. Actually, there's a set of primals and courts within Elysium. And so there'll be like one primal for a court, and he'll have a bunch of gods underneath him.
Yeah.
If a god dies or decides to basically go to sleep for like, or retire, I can't remember where they go to, but they basically go into another like realm, like heaven type thing.
Yep.
And their power actually will trickle down to the next god in line to become a primal, and they become a new primal power.
Mm-hmm.
So a god is not necessarily like a primal can have a child and it's a god, and a god can have a child and it's a god, and that's fine. But the power trickles down. And then a godling is when a god, what, Avery?
I'm just laughing at Izzy's comment
Izzy.
because she's like, I'm frantically writing all this down. She already wrote this down for you.
It's
You just have to go to her.
It's in my guide, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she,
but it's different when she says
Fire
it.
Yeah.
guide.
yeah. I will say this for
Oh.
anyone who's like a little confused. Let me put this in ACOTAR terms for you. So essentially, a primal's like a high lord, and when they die or something, it gets trickled to the next person. But everyone else is essentially like a god. So there you go. There's the ACOTAR term for it. If anyone is just like super confused, because what Kate is saying is 100% right, and like what you will see in the War of Two Queens is Reaver, because he obviously was around in the site, knows the truth. Everyone else doesn't, and so he tries to correct everyone by skirting around. So if you've read a site, you will know what Kate is saying is correct, but Poppy and everyone else doesn't know that.
Yeah. So, and then there's the godlings, which godlings are the children of a god and a mortal.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them get ether and some of them don't, depending on how strong the god parent was.
Yep.
And most of them live in Elysium. Some of them live mortal lives, some of them live a little bit longer. But if they have strong enough ether, they can ascend into a god.
Mm-hmm.
That's a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
And to get through the culling, which happens at age like 19, they have to drink from a god in order to complete that ascension, which is a natural part of their life. It's not a
Wait, hold
go
on,
to the
hold
brink
on,
of
hold on.
death.
Can you just repeat that sentence really quick?
For a god to come in its power, they have to drink the blood of a god and not go through like an ascension where they
Yeah.
go to the brink of
So I
death.
just
It's
wanna-
part of their process.
Yeah,
to
I just
ascend.
want everyone to hear that they have to drink from a god.
So-
Okay, keep going.
It's a separate type of ascension. It doesn't
Mhm.
require a death
Mhm.
or a near death. And then the only other thing that we have are deities and changelings, and those are referred to in From Blood and Ash. Now, in that series, we don't actually know of a single person who is a deity or a changeling, but they claim Will as a changeling, but I think that's BS. She said, that's what they call me.
Yeah.
So that's BS. They don't actually know what she is. So this again is an assumption / theory that what they are calling deities / changelings are actually the creatures that get the extra mortal form from the primal of life, which we know is Sarah. So hopefully in future books, we will see her give mortal form to the wolf and the cave cat type creatures who make the wyvern and so on and so forth. So pretty much all of those creatures that were listed out in the library in A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire that we can call them changelings / deities because they have the extended lifespan like Draken. They have a godlike lifespan, but they were a creature that was given a mortal form.
Hold on.
I
Everyone's
think that makes sense.
Oh,
And then
yeah, wait, hold on. I
probably one thing to
I
note.
just want to quickly repeat what Kate said, which is when they go through the culling, they have to drink from a god to go through it. So
everyone's freaking out about
but they
it.
didn't hear me say the culling part correctly.
Yeah,
So
they're missing a vital piece of information.
yeah. I'm not telling you why. I just want to make sure everyone remembers that because
I mean, I guess just that you just have to think about some of the ascensions that we see, and that's like at the end of a site, we even see the ascension of Bele, and they're like, you're not really a primal now, but you're not really a god.
Yeah.
And so this ascension with the Ember of Life is slightly different, which we don't know what that really means yet.
Yeah.
And same thing, like, oh, I forgot, there's also the Demis, which is illegal. Forbidden.
Oh, the demis are important though.
A demi is what Isbeth is. And we find this out from Nectus, I believe. He tells us that, and we find out in a site as well, that a demi is a forbidden thing. And basically it's when a god ascends a mortal. So this isn't like an Atlantean ascending a mortal. It's a god ascending a mortal. And it gives them godlike abilities, but it's you putting godlike ether strength into a mortal body, and it's a disgrace. It's totally against the rules, all that stuff. So that's what she is. Isbeth believes she's a god, but she's actually a demi, and she's the only one of her kind.
Yeah.
And then again, we know that Poppy we believe, ascended, but she got blood from an Atlantean.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
There's some like gray areas within
Yeah.
our rubric.
And I will say too, the whole Demi conversation is going to come up in the very first chapter of the War of Two Queens. So if you've read it, you will have seen, because that chapter's been out for a few months now, you will have seen that conversation be brought up. But that is something that is interesting, and I was like really fascinated by it. So okay, this is a really fun one. I'm gonna do the question below it and then I'll do the first one, but I'm curious here because I know everyone, even I was kind of trolling you guys a little bit with the photo for this YouTube live. The joining, how does everyone feel about the joining? Do they want the joining, not want the joining?
Raise your hands if you want the joining.
Yeah, thumbs up if you want the joining, thumbs down if you don't want the joining.
I have 2 thumbs up.
Okay, for the people who are like on this fence about it, what are you on the fence about?
Okay, so I want the joining because I want to like read the Scott. I think it's gonna be so great.
Okay.
However, I don't want it to like interfere with Poppy and Cass's relationship. Like I really value them as like a pair of themselves, and I feel like
that makes sense.
I'm okay with just them being them, but like I don't know if I would actually be mad if the joining happened.
Honestly, that's a fair thought because I feel the same way about it. Like I'm really nervous about I'm trying to use present tense even though like I may or may not know the answer to this. So because I agree, I think when we first heard of the joining in A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, my immediate thought was, so is this just one big orgy fest? Because what about just like the bonding between her and her fiance, now husband, you know? And also, who's going to be involved in this? Like, is it just Kieran? Is it going to be, I mean, they've implied that it's Kieran, but could it be like multiple women at this point? Like, who is this? So
I feel like
I get it.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be backlash if she does it and it's in a non-sexual way. Like, people are going to be mad. And then there's people who are going to be happy. And then there's going to be people who are going to be mad if it doesn't happen. And then there's going to be people who's like, she's not going to win no matter what she ends up doing with the joining.
Yeah. I know Ashley's very much against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley does not want the joining at all.
Look, I am a very monogamous soul.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
fair.
don't share. I'm also an only child. Like, there's no sharing.
Yeah.
In this household.
I get it. Katie, I saw you were kind of anti-joining.
Yeah, I think I settled on no, but like I'm open to it if it's done in the right way.
Right.
But my thing is, I just love Poppy and Kieran's relationship.
Yeah.
Their friendship. And I don't really want to have to see them navigate the awkwardness and the weirdness that would come after that.
Yeah.
Especially with like the bond that Poppy does have with Cass already. It just feels like it would get messy, and I don't want like that's one of my pet peeves in books is when like authors throw something in just to like for the sake of getting messy. And I'm like, okay, there's so much going on in this book already. Like, I want to see our heroes stay on the same page and be like a force to be reckoned with together and not be blah, blah, between themselves. Like we've kind of already done that, and now I feel like I want to see them move forward together.
You're worried about like a sort of miscommunication trope occurring as a result.
Exactly. Like,
gotcha.
Miscommunication and just like weird drama between the three of them as they're trying to like fight this very important war.
No contrived conflict sort of situation. I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a valid concern.
That's so well put. And I really identify with that. Like, I feel like their relationship is so special that Cass and Poppy have, and we've seen it grow over the course of several books now. And I feel like, and also with Kieran, like they have such an amazing connection, but I guess I never saw, and I know JLA said like they're not like brother and sister, but I always felt like it was very much a brother-sister relationship, like the way that they joked and how he teases and is super protective, and like it doesn't feel the same way as it does with Cass.
Yeah.
And so I just worry about
I'm laughing at Amanda in the comments every few she just keeps saying thruple. What I will say, because I did ask when I had received my copy of The War of Two Queens, I wanted to know some of the outcomes, if it was always planned or if it was something that she kind of decided as she was writing. And what I will say is the way things go, this is something she has planned from book one. And this was some of the stuff that happens in this book is stuff that she has just been waiting to do. So for anyone who's concerned, because I think Katie brought up an excellent point about like, well, I just don't want it to happen because everyone's now all of a sudden excited about it or like wants it. It's not even just that potential opportunity, but other things that happen are things that she, I guess, even in the initial planning stages, wanted to do. So for anyone who's concerned, I will just quickly squash those fears and say she for sure planned the outcomes way, way far in advance. So because my concern with the joining was always, I don't want it to be a joining just to do a joining. And then like, just to have like a threesome moment in this book, like that kind of bothered me. Like I saw someone said it, I don't know if we even need it at this point. Like that was a concern of mine. Going into the War of Two Queens, I anticipated that we might be heading in that direction because Cass is gone, that I felt like maybe they would all do it so that way they could all be connected again, because I feel like for anyone, Kieran is probably struggling the most because this is the first time he has never been connected to Castiel. Right. So that's the only reason I was okay with it happening if it was going to happen, because I was like, Kieran is going to want some sort of connection with Castiel. So I just want to say that for just as clarity. But everyone else I know, Izzy, Avery, Kate, myself, we're all pro joining. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So unhinged theory time. This is a fun one because I feel like this was something that was thrown in a site and a lot of people had questions about. Victor is a victor, and potentially so is Sir Holland. Now, I think they clarified in a site that Sir Holland was not a victor, that he was a part of the ARA and he was a fate and one of the fates and all that. But does everyone here think that Victor was a victor? Or does anyone not think he was?
Victor's ward, specifically. They showed him at the end.
Wait, what do you mean?
What?
Ward, at the end of a site. They showed a guy, his name was Ward. And his description was word for word the description of Victor. So.
What?
What?
Oh my God.
Crying in the pub. What?
What do you mean?
Rock that on there? Like,
wait, how has no one talked about this?
Number. Hold on. Go to my library, Shadow in the Ember.
Wait, what'd you say, Ashley?
Ward.
This is unconfirmed, right? This is just like your baby.
Yeah. They're just asking, do you guys think that Victor was a victor?
Yeah.
Hey, I have lots of questions. How have we not discussed this?
Yeah.
Yes,
Where to drop
he
the
is
ball?
a victor. So yes, the theory is that he is a victor, but specifically a victor was with Penelope, and let me hold on. Where's his description?
Penelope, as in the goddess or the god?
The goddess. An unfamiliar man stood with him, sandy blonde hair, brushing broad shoulders, adorned in a belted light gray tunic. His face was weathered and sun warmed. Word for word, this is on page 683 of a site Kindle edition.
How has no one talked about that?
Oh my God, somebody's in the comments saying Kate said that last week too when we did our recaps and we didn't hear her.
I am so ashamed.
So,
of you
one
both.
of my theories is that obviously Poppy will get to see him again, but we'll see.
Really
Because how would he be like alive and not get to see that, like them getting to see each other again?
Yeah.
But
Well, even when I was doing the reread, like of the Crown of Gilded Bones and like For Blood and Ash, like even the way like he died and everything, like I just wanted her to see, because she has a lot of fears about him, like her with like obviously she loves Castiel, like I'm not saying this would like stop her, but I think she had some fears in terms of like how would he react to the results of all of this, and like what would because he was a father figure to her. So I would really love to see him somehow.
I would love for him to come back. That's
Yeah.
wild.
I didn't even
Sarah,
think about
we're
that.
awful human beings.
I'm surprised Kate didn't be like, did you hear what I said? Because like,
She's not going to do that.
She's so nice.
Well, yeah, we've already established that she's way nicer.
Yeah, like, Sarah, you and I are bulldozer personalities.
Yeah.
You have to, like literally stop us.
Wow, I'm gonna go back and find the timestamp of that
I know
conversation.
that
because-
3 hours, 4 hours long.
Yeah,
however
well,
long.
what's so funny about that is Ashley was watching them and she was like, I don't mean to offend you, Sarah, but I started fast forwarding. I was like, you're not offending me. Like, just
No.
fast forward. Just start. Yeah, at one point we talked about Doctor Who for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, last week we rambled a lot.
That is because the germs look like the silence.
Yeah, they do. It's the Girums. Okay. That's another thing. Where's the book? So, okay, for anyone who's getting a physical or even the Kindle copy of The War of Two Queens, I'll go ahead and say this. It comes with a pronunciation guide in the front, which I'm like, blessed. Thank God it finally comes with one. Although I would argue with some of the pronunciations, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But Girums is one of those ones that I'm like, is it Girum? Is it germs? Is it like
What is
Grims? Like how do you pronounce that? Did anyone have a funky pronunciation of that?
I just said germs.
Okay.
I said
I think
I was going with
Girm sounds the
Girms.
scariest.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
Germs.
Oh, I want to. Okay,
Not
wait.
very scary, but
Oh, I'm just looking. Oh, this is a good one. So we kind of talked about this. Izzy, you kind of revealed yourself as the outlier, but I don't think you're alone in this. How does everyone feel about a site? Did anyone not love it? Did everyone love it? What was the deal? It's okay if you
I
didn't
did
like
not
it.
reveal myself.
Well,
Avery
Avery
outed
did.
me.
I straight up outed her.
Yeah. Germ. Everyone's seen Germ.
I have so my thoughts on the site. I'll like make it very succinct. I think that if you're a person like Avery or Sarah who loves puzzles and world building and theory building, a site is a breathtaking masterpiece for you.
Yeah.
If you're somebody like me who like thrives on character interactions and growth through interactions, it's kind of a slow book.
Mm-hmm.
It is the lowest ranked on my From Blood and Ash books, but I finished it. I didn't DNF it, and
So-
I appreciate it for what it was.
So for you, it wasn't necessarily the characters that you didn't like. It was just the way
No.
it was told.
I 1,000% disagree with anyone who says that it's Poppycast 2.0. It absolutely
Yeah.
is not. Now, while the opening beats of the story sort of do mirror
Yeah.
from Blood and Ash, if you're upset about that, then you've missed the point of a site.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah, that is intentional.
Yeah, I would agree.
Those are my thoughts.
No,
So-
I think that's.
Like,
Sorry, Katie, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're fine. I was just saying, I agree with what you're saying is like, it's intentional. There's so many things in the story that are going to be in line with what Poppy and Cass went through.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's one of the things that makes Nikto so sympathetic to Poppy and Cass's situation later is because like he went through it. That's the whole point of it. But like I do think that like I wish that we were able to draw those parallels with like a little bit more creativity. Like I
Mhm.
wish that it wasn't so obviously that way.
Yes.
I wish there was like more nuance between the similarities, but because
Yeah.
like I'm not mad about it. I get the point, but I wish I hadn't felt like I was reading the same story
Yeah.
in part the second time.
That's totally fair. And I would agree with both of you that I feel like some people when that book came out they were too they jumped too quickly on that, like, oh, it's too much like Poppy and Cass, and I was like, well, that was kind of the point, was like she was the maiden, and like that was really, because I do think by the end of the Crown of Gilded Bones they are setting it up for Seraphina to potentially meet Poppy. I really, because we were seeing her in all the dream sequences and all of this stuff, and so like you're kind of just waiting for her to like interact with Poppy. And I feel like when we got a site, it was like, I mean, there were even hints of like if someone messed with her family, like she was gonna really get upset and all these things. So but I would agree that I wish it was more creative.
I also want to throw in there, somebody said in the comments, less stabby questions. Sarah stabbed Niktos and also asked a lot of questions. Like there's even a point that I reread today where when I was doing the notes where Niktos, she literally goes, I have questions. And he was like, of course you do. Like
Yeah.
it was a very Kieran response. So
Yeah.
like the same sorts of banter are in there, but it's not the same characters.
Right.
But that also has to do, we're reading a book by the same author in the same universe.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say there's a really funny line in The War of Two Queens that I think a lot of us will appreciate. And it is, I think Poppy asks, what's funny is, I don't know if she asked him the question. I can't remember if she asked him or if she poses a question to Reaver. And the way he responds is very telling of the difference between Poppy and Sarah. And like, I just thought it was really entertaining because obviously there's similarities between the two. And I think like Reaver's kind of us as the readers in the journey, where like we can see it, but also he explains it in a way that I think is really nice, because Avery and everyone else who has said it, you guys are right. Like they are two different characters. I wish their differences were a little bit more, but like honestly, I love them both, and I love the similarities and the differences that they share.
Yeah, I think Sarah's a bit more abrasive and Poppy's a bit more methodical.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, this is this is probably another question directed at Kate, but I think a few of us can probably answer that. What is the significance of stale lilacs? And they're just asking because they can't remember. Anyone know the answer?
I reread it.
I was gonna say, you and I saw it today.
It was actually last night at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's the Gearms. And the unseen. Right?
It's not just the Gearms. It's all
See, I knew she was gonna correct me.
It all stems from Elysium. It's I'm pretty sure it's like specifically a lot of the scent comes, so even the rot smells that way.
Yeah.
So
this is
the death, and then these creatures Sorry.
No, what I was reading last night was like Niktos explaining also the difference between like the hunters and the.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading The Attack last night, so that's what I'm in the Crown of Gilded Bones. So
It seems like creatures created in Elysium.
Smell of stale
That
eggs.
have the dirt that's rotted.
I was gonna say I was laughing at like Avery and I were working on it together, and I'd be like, "Stale lilacs," and then 5 minutes later she'd be like, "Stale lilacs," and I was like, "Where do you see it?" Like we would be bouncing, because I think it's mentioned quite a bit, and doesn't one of the characters smell like fresh lilacs? Isn't there like a fresh lilac smell? Did I make that up?
I don't know about fresh lilacs, but you can also note that she smelled lilacs like when they got married by Sands Cove. She smells it a lot, even like when they're by like any of the lake, like Sands Cove is like black. Also, like the lake is black because you can assume that it has shadow stone, which is really close to, because it's like a portal to Elysium, basically. So anything closely related to Elysium smells like
What we're not going to do in the comments, though, is continue to bring up the bread and roses thing.
Listen, we will.
Unless you want me to go off.
We will talk. We will talk about that later because that is for another day, another time. But yeah.
Don't start with me, Amanda. I know what you're doing.
This is a fun question because what's funny is, Kate, you were bringing this up earlier today when we were talking, but they were said thoughts on Poppy potentially having an animal form like Niktos, Iris, and
I love Kate's theory on this.
I do too.
It's awesome.
Well, I don't have one specifically about Poppy. I mean, I think it would make sense that she would, because we see that obviously both her parents do, but we don't. I mean, we know Niktos is a wolf. So I don't know if they get to choose their form or what, but my theory was in regards to the silver hawk, but that's not Poppy related.
But I was going to say, like, I would even liked the theory that you had, even though we kind of debunked it because of Nectus, but I still think it's a possibility in terms of potentially Niktos' form isn't the Wolven, but it's actually Seraphina's form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was someone had mentioned on like the Facebook group that they thought maybe the white wolf form wasn't actually, like, that was just throwing us off the course, because when we see her interact with the gray wolf later, she sees the intelligence in its eyes, that maybe the white wolf watching her, was it sensing the ember of life in her, similar to how the Wolven sense it in Poppy, and that it was kind of seeing that in her, and it wasn't actually Niktos, so that maybe once she goes through her culling, maybe she holds a wolf form, and that when we see Niktos pictured with a white wolf, that it might be like him and his consort and not representing that form. But Nectus said that the white wolf was Niktos, but I don't know if that was to protect her identity. I mean, so I guess it could still be a possibility.
I think that's something that's really interesting about the War of Two Queens. When you go back and you read, or not the War of Two Queens, sorry. When you go back and you read the Crown of Gilded Bones, after reading a site, you kind of wonder why she's so shrouded, because you're like, she has such an important role in a site, and you do see that, how, you know, she's got the Ember of Life, and that she really is the true primal of life, I think is what they say at the very end of that book. But she, you know, he holds the title of life and death, as we see in the future and all this stuff. And so that is something that is very interesting to see in the War of Two Queens as well, because it's brought up. But I found it extremely interesting when I read The Crown of Gilded Bones again, because I was like, Why is she so shrouded? So I do think it wouldn't surprise me if Nectus was purposefully trying to lead them astray for some reason to protect Sarah.
Yeah, apparently fresh lilacs come up a lot as a smell Poppy smells when she feels comforted, usually something by Cass.
Okay, see, I knew I remember hearing fresh
According
lilacs.
to somebody in the comments.
Great, thank you for telling me I wasn't crazy. I appreciate that.
It's Lucy.
Of course, it's Lucy. Lucy's the one who wants to be your assistant on the theories, so that would make a lot of sense.
Oh, Lucy.
Oh, this is a good one. Biggest moment in the series so far where you had to put the book down, either from shock, disappointment, or excitement.
I had to put the book down where they had like sex over the ashes and the.
Oh, the carriage.
Yeah, the carriage.
Fair.
I was just like, we're gonna pause for like 5 minutes.
That's fair.
And then I went back. Oh, fine, but
No, I read straight through that and then reread it.
Of course you did. That doesn't surprise. That makes a lot of sense for both of you. So, okay. Anything else? Any like moment where you had to put the book down?
The Crown of Gilded Bones for sure, where not where Poppy dies, but when he brings her back and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna test this theory to see if I can rust in the sun," and runs for the door. And I went, no. No.
Yeah.
Poor Cass.
Mine was I had to set the book down after Poppy passed out and Cass was taken by Isbeth. I had to actually put the book down.
So
like, I was like, my baby has been taken. I am unwell. I'm gonna.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that I could see it coming, because even the ending, as badass as it is, fell flat for me because I was just so distraught.
Upset. Yeah.
My baby had been taken and was like being tortured about like how Poppy had also been taken. Didn't matter that and I was just like, I am not okay.
Yeah. For me, it was, I remember reading, it was close to that time when they showed, I say Malik for both of them. So I'm going to clarify and say Castiel's brother when he showed up. I think it was like a few lines down from that chapter, I had realized that he was supposed to marry Poppy. And I was waiting for the reaction and I was waiting for it to click. And the minute it clicked, I mean, I swear, I think I put the book down and I said, Castiel's gonna freak. And then the next line said, and Castiel exploded. So like that whole, like, I almost wish I recorded it because I was genuinely like, oh my God, like he was supposed to be her ascension. Like it all clicked in that minute, which I think is so fun as a reader when you're just a few paragraphs ahead of what is about to be revealed. And then I remember thinking to myself, why has no one else thought of this? Like all of us thought he was tortured and like scarred and beaten and bruised. And the minute he showed up, he was totally fine. I was like, oh no. So that was mine. Anyone else have any crazy ones? I
feel like when Lord Mazine, I hated him so much.
You keep
like,
answering. I'm going to grab the book. Hold on a second.
Never loathed a character more. Like that man. So when that first kind of assault happened with the Duke and stuff, I was like, no, I'm done. Like I can't. Like it was awful. It was so awful. And then when she killed him, it was like glorious retribution.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was almost like the first moment that I like felt like, oh God, with the book was when Victor died. Like,
oh my God.
The first really impactful moment where I like was like, oh my God, like this book like is going for it. Like we're not sparing anyone's feelings in the way that this story is being told.
Hold on.
That's the only time I cried. I never actually put the book down. I feel like if I hit like turmoil, I'm like, I just got to keep going.
Yeah.
But I cried for Victor and then I kept going and I was satisfied with the Lord Mazine bit. But
I think also since we're dealing with two different series here, like moments in a site that like had me like sit back for a minute, like literally when Niktos like shows up and is like, I am the Asher, that I was like, oh my, hello.
Niktos is here.
We love to see that. Hello. And then he's like, he does the I am the Asher, blah 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 blah, and she calls him Niktos, and he goes, I am not that to you. And I'm like, oh damn, okay. Hello, sir. How you
Yeah,
doing?
the first chapter of A Sight, I had to, when he turns her down, my stomach lurched, and I was like, oh boy.
And then you
Um,
find out like
wow.
she's been abused and made to go back there every
Yep.
year. Like that's awful.
And as a huge disappointment personally, it really resonated with me.
Okay, someone asked a really quick question, and I'm only going to answer it in one because I am going to go through and tab it. But someone said, what chapters desperately need fan art for the War of Two Queens? I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest one is chapter 12. Chapter 12 is the one that I said, I need a full-on poster of this moment, because when I read it was like cinematic chills, totally freaked out. So for me, it's chapter 12. And it's kind of like middle endish. The whole thing, really. It's yeah. So I don't want to say what it is, but I will say that there is a certain thing that happens, and I was like, oh, that's so smart. Like, it was just, I need fan art. But there is a few other things. There are certain characters I need fan art of now, because, and I think we're gonna get a lot of fan art. But chapter 12 is probably the biggest one for me that I need like one of these. Hold on. Let me grab it. I have a fan art from Blood and Ash, and I want this artist to do it because it's
Somebody said
I need like this level for this moment.
Okay.
So I almost want to reach out to the artist and be like, please, chapter 12 of the War of Two Queens. Thank you very much.
somebody said in the comments, one of the moments in A Sight that made them like sit back or put the book down or whatever was when we found out that Sarah was actually Satoria reincarnated.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
Well, some people did, and I was like,
I feel like it was pretty obvious.
I sniffed reincarnation. Yeah.
yeah.
I did
They
not.
mentioned Satoria many times. The first time they talked about it with Holland, he was like, "You remind me of Satoria," and I was like, "Okay, that's because she's Satoria."
Oh, but
Well,
how-
I was reading
feel
slow
about
and
it,
I was
though?
at the beach drinking. So
Okay, someone okay. There's a few questions about the dark one. Who does everyone think the dark one is? I will tell you who I thought it was. Obviously, from JLA spoilers, you do find out who the dark one is in the War of Two Queens, so I will not tell you the true answer, but I will give you like the 3 theories I have, and I won't tell you if they're right or wrong. But before I do, everyone else, who do you guys think the dark one is?
I think it's his brother.
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Oh yeah, because Avery knows.
No.
Avery knows.
I may have
Avery
told-
knows who it is.
I may have told Avery, so just keep in mind.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
Sarah
always
has
thought
a
it was her
problem where she can't keep a secret.
We've
and
got-
so
I
she
have a-
has to let it out to
Listen,
somebody
my
that
my
happens to be
secret
me.
cup is like this big, and so when it overflows, like it's so tiny, and when
Don't
it
tell
over
Sarah
Honestly,
any secrets.
I'm taking one for the team for you guys, so you're welcome.
let me clarify. I'm really good at keeping secrets if I only have a few, but when I had so many at the time I was reading this book, I was
because you were dealing with
dealing with a lot of secrets at that time. So
Yeah.
there was so I was like, Avery, I'm just gonna tell you this because I'm freaking out.
I gotta tell you this, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
I declined to answer because I think that I'm based on Avery's theories that we've discussed. I
okay.
might.
Okay. Oh,
I
maybe
haven't
not.
told you anything.
Okay. So we
Okay.
think Cass's
Oh.
brother. Anyone else?
Well, I always thought it was her Poppy's brother.
Oh, Ian.
Her
No,
her
not
half
Ian.
brother.
Her half brother.
Half brother.
Oh.
Yeah, that's who I think. Malik and Isbeth's son. That's who I
That's what
kind
I
of
thought
figured.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know there was another theory that it was Kieran because his name means little dark one. But
Yeah.
then I was like, so what if that means the big dark one is Jasper because that's his dad?
Big dark.
I had this
one.
whole kick that like the dark one wasn't actually bad. Like he was actually there to save her. But
Ooh,
I
wait, that's a good
I don't
question. Do
know.
you guys think he's actually bad, or do you think he's good?
Well, see, I
think he's
want to
morally gray.
good because I want him to be morally gray, but
Love Molly
I
Gray.
love a morally gray. Yeah. The 3 possibilities I had going into the War of Two Queens was Cass's brother, King Valen, or Poppy's brother, the half brother.
And is one of those 3 correct?
I'm not telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I figure it's someone we've met before at least, or heard about. I can't imagine it's a new character because I feel like that would be kind of weird.
We have
Right.
heard about the character. I will give you that.
Okay.
Two of
You have to work on your poker
Avery,
face.
get it together.
My poker face is way better than yours these days.
Oh, my poker face is great.
Mm-hmm.
Is this gonna be like another like a Hawk ends up being Castile situation?
Ooh, that would be cool. But no.
Ooh, somebody said Colas, but seems too easy.
Ooh, I love
Yeah,
that.
I think Colas is the great conspirator in the prophecy, not the dark.
I'm allowed to laugh at Sarah and it not give anything away.
Yeah,
Mike.
that's a good point. Okay. Who do you think the first daughter is? This is also something I can't answer. I also had no theories going into it about this one.
Again, I plead the fucking fifth.
Well, I had no theories going in about this one because I was like, I don't know. But we did know going into it. I think she said on our Facebook group that we were going to meet the first daughter in this book. So,
Yeah, I guess I haven't really. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I have no reason.
I mean, we know
to
it's-
bel-
We know it's not Poppy.
yeah,
So-
that's what we do.
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But no
I
one's
mean,
going to make theories.
she's born of the same misdeed, so we would argue that it's definitely someone that Isbeth had a baby with Iris without his consent, most likely. So I kind of thought it might be the Revenant, but that's just because I thought that
That's
Prince
interesting.
Malik was the once promised king,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was getting like the vibes that he like liked the Revenant, and I was like, well, then what if they're like the third set of heartmates? And then I was like, well, then maybe I guess she could be. So I like, apart from just like this could mean this means this, like that's the only reason.
Wait, what
I
do you
don't-
mean the
I have
third
no
set of
backup.
heartmates?
JLA said like, I don't know, like a year and a half ago that there are only 3 heartmates in the entire series. I think she was trying to separate
Oh.
herself from JLA or from SJM, who's like, mates are rare, and then everyone has a mate. She specifically said
Oh.
heartmates are super rare and that there are only 3 in the entire series. So like Poppy and Cass are heartmates. And I believe she confirmed that Sarah's mom and Sarah's dad were heartmates. Sarah and Niktos were not heartmates. They had their big connection because of the Ember of Life recognizing itself
Yeah.
in each other. That leaves one set left.
Yeah. The Revenant's an interesting one because I didn't think about her. Well, she's known as the Handmaiden also in the Crown of Guild Bones. I didn't think about her because she looks so different from Poppy. So I was like assuming that she would look like Isbeth or Poppy. It was like my assumption. But
I mean, could Isbeth have had a baby with someone else?
that's kind of was what I was thinking. Or like, is it possible that Iris had a child that wasn't with Isbeth?
Hmm.
What Miss Willow looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's
Ye-
correcting me. Malik and Isbeth are heartmates, so maybe there are no more heartmates left. Sorry, guys. You guys got me. I'm sorry.
I think that one's questionable.
What, that Malik and Isbeth are heartmates?
Yeah, because
They say that they are. Yeah, it's the only confirmed one is Cass and Poppy. I'm pretty sure.
well, not confirmed.
No, they're confirmed because it specifically says in a site that heartmates actually have like a zap of energy that goes between them, and multiple times we have Cass and
Oh.
Poppy touching each other
And there's a
and
zap.
getting that zap of energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Malik is Catboy. No, Catboy's Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Cave Cat.
Malik can also change into a cave cat, though.
Yes.
The one in the cage is
But the one in the
is
cage
Iris,
is-
but they both can change into cave cats, which I guess leads into another theory if we're going there, that Malik could already be awake.
Oh, do you think Malik's already awake?
So I had 2 thoughts about Malik. I figured he is going to be either he's already awake or he's going to be awakened based on what Poppy was saying. Like they know where he is. He's in the blood forest.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were to wake him and he's been buried for like hundreds and hundreds of years, he would be in bloodlust for probably half the book at least. At
Right.
least. Like he wouldn't get to do anything. So part of me thinks maybe he's been awake. And
Right.
Quentin saw a cave cat in Seance Cove in the Kingdom of
Mhm.
Flesh and Fire.
Yep.
So I was like, what if that's Malik? What if Malik's already awake? And I don't think Malik's a bad guy, so that's another thing too. So
Or what if that's her brother?
ooh, see, that's the thing. I don't know if with the forms, like, do they get to pick their form? Like, maybe her brother does have a form. I don't
See,
know.
That's what I wonder because I feel like I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just guessing. I feel like the primals can shift. I mean, we don't know if Colas can. I mean, we're kind of assuming.
I would
Nikos-
assume.
Right. Like we know Nikos for sure can. I kind of agree with you about Serafina probably can. And which leads me to believe, since both of their children can, that it's possible, and I think because it's been hinted so many times, that Poppy probably can, which I would really love to see.
Lucy would
Yeah,
like
she deserves that.
Lucy would like to hear, Kate, your theory about Willa Collins.
Oh, this is good.
Is that jumping around too much?
No.
It's not really super relevant, I don't think, for the War of Two Queens, but we're told in Game of Flesh and Fire, and then also a Gilded Bones, that she's about 2,000 years old, and she's believed to be a changeling. But when Poppy brings that up, she's like, "That's what they call me." So, like I said before, I think there's no way she's a changeling or a deity. I think she's probably goddess Penelope's daughter, but that's totally like, I have no backup for that. But specifically, I think she had a mortal lover, and I think her mortal lover is the first Atlantean. And the reason I think that is because in A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, when they're talking about what heartmates are, there was basically one god who wanted to have his lover become immortal, and they said no, and he withered away and died. And then so the next time that someone asked, it says, but when it happened again with another of their children, an ancient daughter who had had many lovers come and go throughout the years, they relented, and then they gave the mortal lover the gift of life, of immortal life. So who else do we know that is ancient and has had many lovers?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and also, I really love the idea of her being tied to Penelope, because she mentions, I noticed in the Crown of Gilded Bones, that she's like one of the great seers of Atlantia, and obviously we know from a site that Penelope is obviously tied to all that, so it really kind of fits nicely with everything.
Yeah, and she even comments about like Penelope said this, and she talks about like the prophecy being in bone, and she knows all the details of Elysium. So like, I would be surprised if we don't see her in the Flesh and Fire series. And I don't know if we'll actually get to see the Heartmate trials, but I think that would be an interesting way to connect everything together.
Yeah, someone was asking, do you think we will see the Heartmate trials? Didn't she say
I hope so.
I mean, eventually. She can't hint
I
at that.
feel like she said we would.
I know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I feel like we'd see the Heartmate trials in Flesh and Fire, and we'll see the joining in From Blood and Ash, in my opinion.
I mean, it doesn't make sense for the joining to appear in Flesh and Fire.
No, I don't think it will.
No.
I feel like the Heartmates is kind of epic. The Heartmate trials are kind of epic, and I feel like that's going to be in one of the last installments.
I agree.
Well, and if she's truly if that is, with how much information they have, that is inaccurate, who knows? But they say that she's 2,000 years old. The Flesh and Fire series is supposedly about 1,000 years before From Blood and Ash. So she's very much so like potentially already there and like doing her thing.
Well, so the thing that I have questions about in regards to the Asite series is, before Asite came out and she was releasing all of her quotes, there was a quote about Willa Collins being there. And there was a quote about her interacting with them, which was obviously taken out because we don't see Willa Collins. But it leads me to believe that we might see her later on, because I feel, since she's already there. The other thing I wonder, because so when you're rereading a lot of the books, they mention the Vodina Isles quite a bit. Like, King Jalara came from there, the Daenerys came from there. Like, there's quite a bit of mention at the very beginning of a site. They have someone from the Isles coming, and that's who Serafina assassinates. But there's no mention of an Atlantean. And I'm kind of like, where are do they not exist yet? Will they exist very soon? Especially if Willa Collins is there. I think that leans more to the fact that she's not an Atlantean, because if there is no Atlanteans. So I'm kind of wondering if we are going to touch on that, because that is something I wonder while I was doing my reread.
But if she is the one that is the god who gets the Heartmate trial and whatever, and that is the creation of the first Atlantean, it would make sense that she stays in Atlantia.
Right. So
yeah, and that's the one like loophole when I was talking about like how the different creatures were created, and we're talking about like, obviously I believe the first vampire was created in a site when the seamstress was changed, and her description was just like what the vampire are like, with their four. So if a vampire was just created, then does that mean that potentially in Colus's court there is an Atlantean, or is a vampire able to be made by the
Right.
bite of something else? Like there's kind of that missing question since
Yeah.
we haven't seen an Atlantean in
And
that series yet.
it's a good thing to bring up Colus's court too, because a character, for anyone who doesn't remember, and he's in the very first chapter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say his name. In a site, we meet someone who is going through the rite, and we see Colus come to pick up this person. His name's Callum. And Callum is he is the person in the very first chapter of The War of Two Queens, so spoiler for the very first chapter, but I think it's okay, who is torturing Castile. So it is very interesting to see, like, this is a good, like, and you probably I didn't realize it until someone brought it up, but I feel like he's one of those characters, and it's a good example because he came from Colus's court. We don't really know a whole lot about it, but we did see him briefly in a site, and then all of a sudden he was taken away, and then now we see him in the War of Two Queens appear for that first chapter. So his court is very mysterious right now, and I would really love to see a little more about it. So
Map in the new one, by the way. Have we, to your point, like, I think knowing where things were, because that's what was very confusing about a site, and then just the landmass, like, where are these cities, like, where does Lithuania fit in with Carcedonia, like all of these other,
because it's so small. That map in a site is
Right.
tiny.
Yeah, it's like of just like it's of like just the city or whatever.
Right.
It's not like the From Blood and Ash map. And actually, at the end of a site, the name Carcedonia does come up. So I believe Carcedonia already exists in a site.
The map in this one is, I mean, it's quite big. So it's like a nice. I mean, it's the same one that you see in all of the, Blood and Ash books. But what I always find interesting is like the map, like this is the other thing. So I don't remember who brought this up to me, but I think it's something really fascinating is if you look at this map, like the Blood and Ash map, not the Flesh and Fire one. And you see things like the mountains of Nyktos, the Isles of Bel, like they're all named after the gods that were in Nyktos' court. There's not a single one in here named after a god that was not in Nyktos' court. So it's very interesting to kind of like, it's something to think about. Also, the gods that are listed in From Blood and Ash, like the very first book, besides the one that's fake, they are all the ones that we see with Nyktos in a site. So it leads me to believe that we might see something in The Light and the Flame where something's going to happen to the other ones. But and like what's up with Colus and like, I have questions. So I feel like that I finish every From Blood and Ash book, regardless if it's a site or this, and I just need something that just says, I have questions, because that's how I feel every time I finish a book by her. Yeah. This is a fun question. Okay, favorite Castile moment, Kieran moment, or Poppy moment? Anyone have a favorite? I can think of a few, but I'll let someone answer if they have one that pops in their head. Yeah.
I like when Kieran almost gets eaten. That's a good one.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
That's a good one.
Buck naked running straight at him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I already said my favorite, and that's just Castillo finding that piece of cheese
Yeah,
for
that's
his
a win.
wifey.
That's a winner, honestly. He knows what she likes, and that's for me, I think my favorite is From Blood and Ash. It's a really cool kind of like callback. In From Blood and Ash, I forget like the situation, but they ask like, do you got her? Like, do you have her? And Cass, at the time he's Hawk, he says always.
It's Ryland's funeral.
That's what it is. Okay, so during Ryland's funeral, they're like, do you have her? And he says always. And then in the Crown of Gilded Bones, she's getting off the horse, and Cass asks Kieran, do you have her? And Kieran says always. So I love the little callbacks of the two, because I think it's really sweet to see that they have her, and I love that. Also, something very random, which I don't know anyone else who will understand this, but Kieran and Cass, not Kieran and Cass, I don't know why I said that. Poppy and Cass, in their wedding vows, they say always and forever. Like, that's like their thing, is to say always and forever, always and forever. My parents' wedding invitation said always and forever on the top, and it was their song that they danced to at their wedding. So when I hear it, I just think of the song. And so I'm like, every time I like internally groan, I'm like, oh God. Okay, next. Like, I hate the phrase because it's like tied to my parents, and I'm like, please stop. So that's just like a really random thing that drives me nuts. But anyone else have something fun?
So mine was going to be the same as yours, Sarah, but since you took it, I'll take Mortal Peril in The Crown of Gilded Bones when he looks to Kieran and Kieran's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're going to do this right now. We're gonna do this right now.
Yeah, like it's really like a teamwork. Like they both decide together.
It's like Cass is like, am I gonna do this? And Kieran's like, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
All right.
My favorite too is like Jasper's like, yeah, we got this. And then
That one's kind of like,
whoa, yeah, time out, everyone. Yeah, that's a good one.
she's like bleeding out.
Yeah. Anyone else have one?
I
I
like
feel
when
like one of my favorite scenes is like, I don't know, maybe basic, but like I just love the red pearl scene because as you go back to it, like
Yeah.
I'm always gonna love that scene so much, knowing what we know later on. It's just so good.
Yeah. I would agree. The Red Pearl is a fun one to go, especially when you know it's Willa Collins and then you read the two parallels. Oh, it's so good.
Everything from like the very beginning of that book, the whole part is so good.
It's 10 out of 10.
Also, if you haven't read the Cass POV of that
Oh,
scene,
I have. Oh, it's so good.
POV of that scene, because honestly, it's like the Poppy POV, good.
Yeah.
Cass POV, wow.
Yeah.
I need a little alt book of Cass's POV. Like,
Oh,
I-
yeah.
Isn't she doing that? Isn't she doing a whole from Blood and Ash?
I think she talked about it.
But I don't think she's doing exclusively from Blood and Ash. I think she's like doing all of Castiel, like main point of views and like really important moments throughout the whole series, I think. Right?
So this is something I've thought of that when I was doing the reread, and I don't know if anyone else had this thought. I really wanted to know at what point did Castiel decide
Yes.
that he loved her, and then at what point did he decide he was going to marry her, and at what point did he figure out they were heartmates? Because reading it, I'm like, was it the willow while they were under the tree? No, I think that's when he decided he wasn't going to give her up. And then I think later on when he like drank her blood, I think that's when he decided he was going to marry her. But like by the time you get to A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, you're like, Kieran is saying that they're heartmates, and you're just like, wait, at what point did we make that like when did Castiel decide that? And then I want to know, when did Kieran realize?
Mhm.
I think Castiel probably knew when he fed from her. He probably like realized it in the blood.
That's I mean, but I feel like it might have happened earlier because
When his plans changed.
Yeah, like I want to know like when, and also when did Kieran realize like, oh, this is it? Like because I feel like the plans changed and Kieran was like, we're just gonna go along for this ride, and then all of a sudden it shifted to Kieran being like, well, I'm stuck with her, so like I either gotta like her or like So I'm curious. I really want their point of view. I really want Cass's point of view because I feel like it'll tell it. Someone asked me because they were, I think, Izzy, it might have been you because you read the first chapter, but you were saying like Cass's point of view is like top tier, and I would
It's
agree.
Oh, good.
His point of view throughout the War of Two Queens, like I know she was on the fence about it before she wrote this book, and like it continues to be a standout throughout the book because
It's so organic.
it's
like,
so, you're right. It's organic, and even like not even just like the sexy time, like because even not just that, but just like the genuine interactions he has with everyone is like, which is why I'm waiting to get the audiobook tonight because I really want to listen to the audiobook.
Yeah, I feel like I was a little worried about the Castiel POV after the experience that was Midnight Sun, where it felt kind of stilted to get that other POV and it just didn't sit right. But reading Cass's POV, I was like, I wish I had all of the books with his POV.
And let's just talk for a second about that audio. The guy who's doing the audio for Cass, because I'm not mad about it.
No,
haven't
I'm
heard
not
it.
either. He has,
I haven't heard it yet.
So you
Man.
you can't like hear him do it for the War of Two Queens, but you can look him up and hear him do other ones. And I pulled him up because I was like, he better have a British accent because that's one of the reasons I love him. Oh, he totally does. And I'm like, I'm so excited to listen to it.
Okay.
I think that's the reason I haven't done a reread of it because I want to listen. I love listening to for anyone who, this is the other thing. I'm curious. Has everyone here heard the audiobooks? Has anyone not heard the audiobooks?
I mean, my
No.
friend has told me all about them, so I know about the accents.
They're
and
so
stuff.
good. It's the same person who does the Silver Flame audiobooks, which is
Right. And I couldn't listen to her do
Nope.
Cassian. No,
Nope.
not at all.
Nope.
But her doing Castiel is like fine.
Yeah.
But like I like heard I guess like an offshoot one day of her do like 2 words in Cassian's voice, and I was like, I'm never listening to the audiobook. I can't do it.
For me, it was just Nesta. Like when I hear that like that actor, I think Poppy, and so Poppy is so different from Nesta that like
Yeah.
when you hear it in Silver Flames, I was like, ah, no, I can't. Like that's Poppy. Like this is. It's kind of like the same, which is weird because she does the Throne of Glass and the Crescent City audiobooks, which is fine because I can separate the two. But the minute I heard her in Six of Crows, I was like, oh, Aelin, not Aelin, like not Aelin. Like it was confusing. So.
My biggest issue with audiobooks is I am an incredibly immersive reader. So when I read, I see the pictures. It's like a movie. And like I have accents for the characters in my head, and they're very distinct and they sound different.
Yeah.
So it got ruined slightly because I listened to Mist and Fury. So my Reese voice for Mist and Fury is gone, but it's still there for the rest of them. So I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I can't listen to any of the other ACOTAR audiobooks because I refuse to lose my
Quick pause. Is anyone going to listen to the graphic audio thing?
New ones.
The what?
Come out?
Okay.
How I'm gonna get Jonathan to read them.
So-
and I heard Reese's voice on there, and I was disappointed.
So I haven't heard Reese's voice, but there's a program called, I'm bringing this up because I'm going to bring this back to from Blood and Ash, don't worry. But there's a program called Graphic Audio, and it is fully voice acted. They did ACOTAR, and so when you hear it, like the sample, it says something about Tamlin's nails, and you hear the sound of it. I would actually love if all audiobook, I mean, I'm sure it's expensive, but I would even love it from Blood and Ash version because like hearing
Audible.
Yeah, like hearing all these different, first off, my first thought was like, please. I mean, I know it's so far off, but I was like, please do Throne of Glass because I can't listen to the Throne of Glass ones, but I would love to. The voice is a little too much for me, but I would love a full. And Rowan better have a
Scottish Rowan.
That's right.
Scottish Rowan.
Did
you guys hear not the sample, but somebody posted Reese's voice today, and it was really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a 18-year-old boy.
Wait, now I definitely want to hear it.
Oh!
Like, it was
About it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and like I love the sound effects, and then
When does the whole thing come out? Sorry.
So they have part 1 is out now, and then part 2 will get out later this month, I think. And then I think at the end of next month, the whole just ACOTAR will be on Kindle, or not Kindle, Audible.
Okay.
Sorry.
Reese has a very distinct, very posh British accent in my head, and
I was
it's just more like man, like
it's like
deeper
It
voice,
needs a
and
deep voice.
I was gonna say, like, one of my favorite things about the From Blood and Ash audiobook is the difference between Kieran and Cass's accents, because there is a different like British accent for both of them, and it is. Oh, I just realized that guy's gonna have to do Kieran's voice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
wait, let me see if I can.
Wait, hold on. What's that one chapter in? Whose POV is that? Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
I was just thinking. I was like, is it Poppy or Cass's point of view? I was curious who's gonna do the accents for it. Anyways,
glad you can answer that for yourself. Appreciate it.
it's Poppy, the one that I was thinking of. It'll be her, which is great because she does a great job. But I would actually prefer the cat. It's fine. Anyways, let me think. Thruple. Someone asked about the thruple. Anyone want a thruple or just the joining?
Rebel.
Thruple?
Here's the thing.
I have to see it executed. I trust the process wherever it may take us. I have just not seen a thruple yet in romantic fantasy, a world I am very new to, and I would like to see it done well. So,
someone has a theory that the first daughter is that Revenant and that Malik is the once fated. So,
That's interesting.
It's I like the little crown at the end of the comments, so I just wanted to read it.
Comments are going crazy right now.
That could be really fun.
Kieran deserves his own mate. I want Kieran to have a love of his own.
Thank you. Yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate the idea of Kieran also getting a love interest in a throuple.
You just want the thruple. I'm on the fence about it. If I'm
Are
going to
you
be
not
honest.
feeling like 4 people, Ashley? Is that not your vibe?
Not my vibe. Not my vibe.
This is my thing. If it makes sense, I'm going to be for it. But if it doesn't make sense, I'm going to be on the fence about it. So it has to make sense for him to be involved in that situation. And as this moment for me, pre the War of Two Queens, because I'm not going to tell you,
Right.
it doesn't make sense. I can kind of see it, but kind of not.
Okay.
So that's my opinion. Oh, this is a good question for everyone. Would you rather have a bonded Wolven or a Draken?
Oh, a Draken.
Draken. Daenerys this shit.
I want to be
Yeah.
a couple that has a bonded Draken. That's what I want.
I wonder what Caitlin's gonna say though.
Yeah, no.
I
Nobody.
think this might be one of the few times that Caitlin and I agree, but I can't tell you why I agree.
I hate you.
No.
Well, I'm gonna take my little wolf, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want the bonded Wolven for sure. I mean, the Draken's great, but
Give me a dragon.
Yeah, dragon.
good luck with that. Okay, so
Hey, I get to fly. That sounds like a great time.
do you?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Sarah.
I'm allowed to troll Avery. Okay, can you explain Poppy's scent? I think they're talking about the death. It's because she's related to Nyktos, right? Isn't that all it is?
Oh, like how she smells like death?
Death.
Like she's
Yeah.
ancient?
Purple.
I think it's because she's descended from a primal.
Yeah.
It's the primal blood, I think. Yeah.
Oh, someone asked, will we see Tawny again?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not dead.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just say yes. Yes, you do see
Okay.
Tawny again.
She's like last time we saw her, she's in like a coma.
Like that.
Well, I just didn't know if I could say that or not. Yes, you do see Tawny. I can confidently say you do. I wasn't trying to troll. I swear on Rowan's life, I'm not trying to troll you.
God, here we
Oh,
go again.
I'm like,
Well, I
everyone.
feel like she has to see the Draken. I mean, they ended it with her in a coma with white hair, and she's like, "You should see, there's Draken here." So like, she's gonna be there, and they're gonna see the Draken.
Someone asked, does Tawny play a big part in the War of Two Queens? I'm going to be honest, I don't remember.
So that would be no.
So I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to be honest. There was a certain thing that I was very motivated to get to, which I'm sure everyone's going to be very motivated to get to. And so at a certain point, I was just not really paying attention, which is part of the reason my reread, I need to do it.
This is your biggest toxic reading habit is that you do this and you do it all the time. You like hyper fixate on one plot point and then you power through everything else to get there.
And the only thing I'm going to say is she searched for certain people's names in a certain recent book.
Went through, didn't she looks at me, she goes, "Hey, don't tell me about any more of the spoilers." And then I talked to her the next day and she's like, "So I went through the book and looked up all these things first."
I'm telling
And the funniest part, Sarah, is that you go, "Don't go into Throne of Glass looking for mates, okay?"
Because I genuinely didn't do that. Okay, this is the one
And
thing.
then she FaceTimes you looking like Kristen Bell because she can't find what she's looking for. And then she lays on the floor and cries and screams and
First off, I just want to say the self-control, just to bring this back, the self-control. First off, the self-control I had not to search Sarah's name in this book was unreal. And this self-control, which I ended up doing, which I also did for a site, I immediately searched Willa Collins, and that's how I knew she wasn't in it. But the self-control I will have to have when I'm just calling it Hofast because I know it's Flame and Shadow. I just internally know that. Not to search all 20 million of Aylin's names is unreal. I will just...
I don't know if they'll be able to do that.
I think everyone's gonna have to take my Kindle away if I...
yeah, you're only going to be allowed to read your physical copy.
No.
We've decided.
We're going to put the we're going to pick the password and you're not going to be able to log into your Kindle. We're going to change your Kindle password.
Like 48 hours.
I'm literally gonna put the thing is, it's funny because everyone is assuming that I would search Rowan's name. No. I don't care.
No.
He's gonna be next to her. I'm searching her name. just like the first thing I did with the War of Two Queens. I'll just tell you, I searched Seraphina's name. That was the first thing I did. I was like, Sarah, Seraphina. Won't tell you what I saw, but I did search it. So
I
Love spoiling yourself?
no, it's literally because I hyperfixated on the fact that I was like so convinced on something with her, and I really just needed to know if I was right or wrong. Which, to be fair, I know people when they got the book, they searched something else, and I did not search that because I was like, I don't need to know that. I would rather just enjoy the story. But I was so convinced about something with Seraphina that I really just needed to search it. Fun fact, I was wrong. So
I'm just gonna like fly to Texas when the new Crescent City book comes out, and I'm going to take.
honestly, we
your
should get
I'm
an
gonna max out all her credit cards so that she can't buy.
Can I tell you, this is when we should get an Airbnb. Like, we should all take the week off. Like,
Yes.
Everybody take Sarah's Kindle.
Yeah.
Who's got Sarah's Kindle this
We'll
day?
have rotations.
We can't tell her who has it.
No, she would have to look through everybody's things to find
First
her
off,
Kindle.
you would just have to shut off the internet because you know how. We'll talk about this offline. We'll talk about this afterwards. But I'm
Yeah,
just
okay,
like,
you're right. You're right.
And yes, parental controls. There we go. See, I'm
Yeah.
not a parent. I don't think of these
Yep,
things.
parental controls. Good point.
Searches for pine and snow.
Like lock.
I have done that.
No, you'd have to take her computer too because she has Kindle on her computer. Don't let her sneak by you.
And her iPhone.
Lock her in a room, and we're gonna like put the book in the room, and every once in a while
And
we'll
some water.
throw in some
That's it.
like Sour Patch Kids.
First up, I just want to point out the hawk that's right here that Katie got me for my birthday. And everyone always comments on it. And he's literally here for when I get upset that I just need to hold it.
Like, look at her face right now. She is stressed out about this.
Like, you can't, like, someone's literally just gonna be like, throw a glass and be like, here, you can skim this one because you read it a million times. I mean, it's fine, whatever. You guys just hate me. Oh, someone wanted to know, did we get a lot of Emil and Delano? I just want to quickly say, one of my favorite things about the Crown of Gilded Bones, I won't answer it, don't worry. One of my favorite things is the Vonetta and the Emil relationship.
Yes.
It is
Also
top tier.
Delano. Also Delano.
Oh, and Delano is like,
We love him.
I think if Kieran was not bonded in the sense before all of this happened, if he was not
Right.
bonded to Castile, she would want Delano. Like, she would immediately want to be bonded to him. I think obviously because of the relationship with Castile, she developed this relationship with Kieran. But I think if Kieran was out of the picture, it would 1000% be Delano. People sleep on Delano, and I freaking
Imagine
love him.
Delano looking
not
like a
that
young
man,
Leo
my man.
DiCaprio.
Is that what you think
What?
he looks like?
Oh.
She said at one point he had floppy blonde hair or something, and I was like, okay, that's Leo DiCaprio.
Isn't he? Okay, I also just.
I
Kate,
have
is
never
this in your
Delano
notes? I need to
on.
know all the Wolven's colors because I feel like I get them confused. every
That would
time.
be helpful.
Delano
Kate.
is white.
Okay. So Kieran is fawn colored and his imprint is cedar. Delano has white fur and his imprint is spring air.
Okay.
Jasper, I don't have it. I know we know what it is, but I don't have that one written down. And Vanetta, I have that her imprint is woodsy, white oak, and vanilla, and that she looks just like Kieran in woven form but smaller.
I feel like Delano, or not Delano, sorry. I thought Jasper was gray. Is he not?
So,
is one of them
I
gray?
think he's gray. I don't have it written
Yeah.
in my notes, but I'm almost 100% sure he's
Okay.
gray.
I knew there
Also,
was a
people are
gray
saying
one.
it's Delano.
Is-
Delano is what they say in the audiobooks, but you can say whatever you want. So I say Delano,
Yeah.
but
I say
Delano because I read physical copies.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
always gonna be.
same.
I feel
it's
like
always-
either is super valid.
I also call her Penelope, and you will not ever get me to call her Penelope because adding an H does not make Penelope.
Well, I don't remember in the book if it says what. Hold on, what does it say to call her?
And I pronounced Delano DiCaprio.
Oh my god.
Nothing will beat the way I pronounced Kraken the first time because that was just stupid.
The way you pronounced what?
Kraken,
Crockett, like the witches.
like the witches.
Instead of
Oh, okay. I thought
I
you meant
said-
like the Kraken.
Oh, I pronounced. What did I say?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna make fun of me for hours about this. Let me clarify. I know what the what I'm about to say. I know is an actual location. I just didn't care. I called it Croatian or Croatia. Like
Okay. That's a choice.
I know it's fine.
It's okay. Alex calls them Crotians. And
I said
yeah,
Croatian.
she says Croatian.
I just said Croatia because I thought it sounded prettier. And then when I found it was Crocken, I was like, you mean like the croc shoe? Because that's stupid. Penelope, it says Penelope in here. So technically we're supposed to call her Penelope.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it too.
But I feel like I switch it up because I never know. So, oh, wait. You know what's interesting?
What's that?
Ector's name isn't in here.
Is Delano in there?
Hector.
Yeah, Delano. It says Delano.
Just for the record, Jasper is silver.
Oh, so he was
Gotcha.
like a
40,
gray.
541 of Flesh and Fire, and possibly large silver. Jasper.
So everybody
Okay.
calls him Delano.
Okay.
That's cool. Do you?
Okay. Favorite side character or least favorite side character in the series?
Actually, this is gonna sound so lame.
No?
I got really attached to Ian really fast.
Yeah.
That's sad. I can see
Yeah.
why though.
He just seems like such a loyal. He's kind of like a Connor-esque character where he's very loyal and. Anyway,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it again. Delano.
Oh,
I'm
good
obsessed with
choice.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a
I love
side
him.
character
He's
that I-
always there when she's naked.
huh?
I like him.
Anyone else have a favorite?
well, you said favorite or not, like
Yeah.
least favorite. So from the beginning, I hated Alistair. Like first encounter, I was like,
Same.
Did
"This is
anyone
fish. I don't trust him."
I
And
didn't like him.
did
I like
anyone
him.
here like him?
I liked him.
Thank
I
you.
did.
High five.
I liked him.
Fell for
It
it.
changed when he mentioned his the marriage thing, him being
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
and I was like,
silly.
that's sus. And so by the end of the book, I was like, yeah, he's super sus.
Great.
but
I totally
Somebody
love
I
him.
liked him at first.
I didn't like how he took Poppy away from Castile and he wanted to
Yeah.
talk one-on-one. I was like, what the fuck?
No, it's really I didn't
So,
like him.
I mean, listen, I clearly don't have a great judge of character when it comes to these situations, because I definitely trusted him, and it wasn't until I think we got into one of these lives when everyone was like, he's so sus, and I was like, wait, really? So
I was like typical old man saying the wrong thing. Like,
Yeah.
duh. And then Cass was like, that's sus of you to
Yeah.
be so bad at talking to people.
But I was saying, if you're in my Discord, I try not to. I've been summoning you guys a lot more because I've been having some chaotic energy. But I was saying to them today, if there's a point of view, which I know we will never get, but if there is a point of view I would love to have, it is an Alistair point of view, because there are some things that guy knew that I don't know, one, why he kept the secret, and two, like, it's just sus all around. And
Yep.
like, because he was in a lot of places during a lot of important things, and
Yeah.
How did he reconcile Beckett?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could see that scene.
That's
Well, even I'm going farther back. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would like a Victor POV a
yeah,
lot.
I would do Victor.
How have none of us said Victor was our favorite? We are terrible.
I was gonna
Somebody said Reaver, and like I would say Reaver for Flesh and Fire series because I don't feel like I've experienced enough of him. In
I
Blood
was
and
gonna
Ice.
say something
Yeah,
I said in our live, a character that surprised me in the War of Two Queens that I really, really loved was Valen. Like, I love every moment with Valen in the War of Two Queens.
I was worried I was gonna not
No,
like
you
I was
didn't.
gonna get mad at him,
I was
and then
worried
you
about
told
it.
me that I was allowed to like him, and I'm
Sarah, if you're trolling us, I
I'm not.
swear to
I
God.
swear
Yeah.
on Rowan's life.
We're on Rowan's life.
Okay,
I swear on Rowan's
Say
life.
no more.
The only way we're gonna trust you now.
Last
That's it.
life.
That's all I need to hear.
But I'm being serious. Like, he was one that shocked me, and yeah, he's really a standout character, I feel like, in the War of Two Queens, which I don't know if everyone else will feel that way, but I did at
Well,
least.
I mean, like he's Poppy's father-in-law, and she has lost so many fathers or father figures at this
Yep.
point. Give the girl a break.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say he wasn't the Dark One. I just said he was one of my favorite characters. He has a lot of really good.
We
standout
don't know that
moments.
the Dark One is
Yeah.
bad or good.
Someone
too.
literally just commented that. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not
Yeah.
telling you what he did. I'm just saying to you.
No, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if we don't know that because somebody said then he's not the dark one. If he's good or bad, we don't know if
Yeah.
the dark one is good or bad.
There's some other characters in this book, which I don't want to say because I think it reveals a little too much, that were also standouts. But Valen is one that I can safely say was one that surprised me a little bit, that I really loved pretty much any scene he was in, I loved. Like, it was just 10 out of 10, the interactions he had.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see because you could see bits and pieces of Castile in it. Like, you could see where he gets it. And I thought that was really kind of cool.
Somebody asked what do you think happened to Jadis.
Yeah, we don't know.
So
Yeah.
do we find out? Can't answer that.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Big question mark on that one.
Hate that.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone asked about Tawny, Willow being a goddess. Could Jadis be the first daughter? Maybe. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
No, because the first daughter is made of the same. Sorry, Jadis is made of the same misdeed as the second daughter. They're both made of the same misdeed, which I'm assuming is the sexual assault that Elizabeth did.
Didn't JLA also say that we would meet her? We hadn't met her yet, or something, or we would meet the first daughter even after a sight or something?
You will meet the first daughter in this book.
Okay.
I will not tell you if you've already met her or not,
Okay.
but you do meet the first daughter in this book.
Okay.
When will you do a live? Oh, I already have it scheduled. They don't know when it is, but I already have it scheduled. It's in like a few weeks. It's our spoiler conversation of the War of Two Queens. So yeah, and I feel like every time we do a spoiler one, it's like, whew, all right, I can say what I want. So, but yeah, we will definitely have a conversation. Oh, someone
Empty out your secret cup.
Yeah, I can't answer the question about chapter 5 because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who has not read chapter 5. Because so I'm not going to answer that. But I will. The person who asked the question about chapter 5, yes, you do find out the answer to that thing. So if you were the one that asked it, I will say yes, you do know the answer to that. No, I will not read it out loud because I don't want anyone to get spoiled. Let's see what else is here. Someone explain the difference because Nectus and Niktos and Malik and Malik. Okay, a few of us have talked about this. Some of the name choices.
Why do you choose the same name in a different font?
I think she said that it was just unintentional and she just did it. She like made a whole post about it where she just didn't mean to do it.
Unintentional.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. We'll talk about the War of Two Queens thing. Someone wanted to know my theory about Fury and Amryn. I'll do that at the very end. When once it hits midnight in like 15 minutes, I'll answer the Fury and Amryn thing, but I will leave that at the end. Here's a great question. Because I know we're getting close to like the 15-minute mark. Which I knew this was going to happen. We would just answer a bunch of questions. Anyone have any theories or anything that they are expecting for this book before they get it? Say it now before you get it so you can...
I think we're going to get the joining.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunately gonna happen.
Ever since that teaser she shared the night that you did your Asite live on her TikTok, nobody can convince me otherwise. I am dead set.
Isn't it it was the one about like, and then we
walking there? She was like, they both walked towards me, and then my horny little brain was like, joining.
Yeah. Caitlin, you're muted.
I would love if we got another Mortal Danger, but
Yes,
what if it's with Kieran?
How dare you?
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
That's my like hopeful theory.
I think we're gonna lose somebody that we like.
Okay,
I'm worried Jasper will die. Yeah, I worry about that too.
I think I don't think it will happen in this book, but I think Eloana's gone by the end of the series at the very least.
Castile's got to lose a parent. I'm sorry.
Eloana she's made too many mistakes. She's done.
Yeah. Not in this book though. I think I think it's later in the series. But she needs to pay for her misdeeds, I think.
Kate, I think you're echoing. It might be your headphones.
It makes you sound really final in all of your theories.
Yeah, it
though.
does.
Like the voice of
Yeah.
Okay, I switched it back to just my AirPods. We'll see if that is better.
Nope.
Oh, you're still like very like godly echoing.
Yeah, you sound
like,
great though. Isbeth dies. Oh, that's interesting. Do you guys think Isbeth is going to die at the end of this book?
I
think so.
I don't think so.
Do you think Isbeth is the big bad?
Big bad.
Well, there's
Well,
always
not
like a
the
big
way-
bad.
Not the way that you're asking that question.
Well, I'm just asking. What do you mean? I always ask questions like this, even if I'm right or wrong. I just like to throw them out here.
I don't think she's the big bad because there's too many places on this map that we haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
And there's too many books left in this series.
Yeah.
I don't think that she's going to die in this book, but I think in the next book she'll be around to unveil who the actual big bad
Because
is.
we have to remember this is book 4, so there's two
Of
more.
6?
There's two
Yeah.
more left. So that is something to keep in the back of your head, which is something I thought of too when I was reading it. Like, we're not getting close to the end, but we are moving closer to that direction. So
Yeah.
But it's like
I
the
still-
Amarantha of the series.
Okay, I like that
Yeah.
comparison.
Somebody put in the comments that Colas is definitely the big bad, and I'm
Yeah.
behind that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I
Well,
could see
also,
that.
like,
The big
I
bad, but
been that impressed by her. Like she
Right.
just seems like a basic villain to me. And like it's not I compare everything to Maeve, right? Because like for me, like I just loved her as a
Oh
villain.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
she was so like there were so many things about that I didn't see coming and that were interesting, and like she had the morally gray parts of her and whatever. So like I just compare everything to that, and like I'm just not that impressed so far.
Oh, I
so I'm
didn't
like, I feel like she can't be the big bad.
Someone said book 5 is the last one in Poppy Cass's point of view, and then the next one is in someone else's. No.
oh,
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, you're good now.
No more God voice.
oh,
I think it was like taking in my mic and my AirPods at the same time. I've been having some issues at work.
That's okay. That's okay. My question with Colas being the big bad is there has been no reference to him, and so
Yeah.
if he ends up being it, I have questions about that.
Right.
I don't think I'm with Kate. Kate has said it before, but I don't think Malik, like King Malik, who's buried Malik, is bad. I think
So
he's
I think
gonna be good.
so. Colas is, in my opinion, is like almost definitely the big bad because the Revenant has the mask, the inked mask with the wings from a bird of prey on her face, which is
Oh.
the same mask that we see in gold on Clum and Sight, which leads to my theory that he might be the silver hawk that she sees.
I
So
love that.
it seems like everyone associated with him has these like wing masks. So I don't think it's a coincidence that they all have wing masks also underneath. Like even like when we see like the Unseen have like, and the Dissenters have that kind of like, I don't think that's a coinky dink.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
For someone also asked beyond this book. I have shared this before, and I'm gonna stand by this theory until I'm proven wrong. I am convinced that Seraphina is pregnant, and I think I think the next book is going to be about that. And
100%.
There's no way you don't get that. in the next
I mean, it's been hinted. One of the things I noticed on my reread in The Crown of Gilded Bones was Nectis hints at the fact that Jadis, when they all went to sleep, she was very young, like wasn't even in adulthood yet. And to me, if she was that young and they didn't have, like, they must have had a child very, very early on. And so I'm kind of thinking she's pregnant, and this is, which if you don't like a pregnancy trope, that's fine, but I love a good pregnancy trope, so like I am here for this.
I think if anybody's gonna do a pregnancy trope, JLA is a good person to do it.
She's done it before too in one of her other series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we think that the War of Two Queens is really like, is Poppy the reference in that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think she's not?
I think so.
Well, I feel like between Isbeth and Eloana, like they have beef.
Oh,
I also feel like you can't have the War of Two Queens. I think Isbeth's gone or one of them.
Is
We're
gone.
losing a queen in this book.
So
'Cause you
I
cannot
think-
get to the end of this war and not have someone die.
I think the reason we're going to keep Isbeth around is because Poppy and her already have this relationship foundation from when she was her mom, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And like you guys were saying, she's a very surface level villain, which I think that means that there's possibility not for a redemption arc necessarily, but for Poppy needing an alliance to go up against the real big bad and needing to align with Isbeth and her revenant and her guards to go up against the big bad in the end. And then she'll probably die.
Yeah.
And she'll-
No comment.
Mm.
comment.
Someone said, "Can we get an Airbnb when the last book comes out? We need some emotional support." Honestly, I would love to do like that. Talk about the quietest Airbnb ever. Like, I always think about that because, like, even when Avery will call me and I'm reading, I'm like, Avery, I do really want to talk to you because I am so engrossed in this book, but I do it because I love her, and so I'm like,
Well, I mean, you did the same thing to me yesterday. You literally were like, you called me and then you texted me, and then I was like, please hold middle of heavy smut.
Yeah. And then I still was, well, it was about Rune, so I interrupted you anyways. But yeah. Someone did ask really quick, because they wanted to, I haven't shared my theories and I'm not going to, if any of my theories were correct. Yes. I did have a few that were right. I had a few that were wrong. Which I was a little disappointed by. I'm not gonna lie, but like I got confirmation that one of my theories is coming true in the next book. So that made me happy that I was like, okay, so I'm not off base because I knew that was coming. I was right about a few kind of randomy things. But yeah. So.
Sarah, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Oh no, don't worry.
What?
Okay, so just one of the things that like made me first start tuning into your lives was you give really good reviews of books, and one thing you did with the site and you've done for other books is say, hey, this is the chapter where shit hits the fan and where you're not going to be able to stop reading it. So do you have one for this one?
Yeah, tell us the Danica's birthday point, please.
Danica's birthday, the Nikto shows up when she's being whipped.
Just in case nobody knows, they didn't tell me about Danica's birthday.
I swore. No, we definitely did. And you probably I always tell people about Danica's birthday.
No, I'm pretty sure we forgot with Caitlin because it was because we had all already read it, and I remember we were like we were kind of preoccupied because when she first came on to Marco Polo, she was like, "Oh my God, we have a whole wolf pack! This is so exciting! I love the wolves!" And we were all like, "Oh no!"
Oh yeah, I think we did that on purpose. I kind of remember that. So this is what I will say. Some people talk about the pacing in the War of Two Queens and how they didn't like it, and I get that because for anyone, or not the War of Two Queens, sorry, the Crown of Gilded Bones. People talk about not liking the pacing in the Crown of Gilded Bones because it's like the first 10 chapters, like a ton happens, and then it's like the whole middle is like really slow. I don't think it's slow, but I get why people think it's slow. And then the very last 10 chapters is like a whole lot happens. So this book is a little different in terms of the first 60% is pretty much war. And for me, that's a little boring. For a lot of people, they would probably disagree with that. Not to say that I wasn't bored, because I wasn't. There was some really beautiful moments in that I really loved. But the pacing is a lot slow. It was slower for me. Then you get to that 60% mark, and it picks up and it stays at that pace the entire time. So if you feel like you're trudging along in the beginning, it's not like a site where like I feel like a lot of people really struggle in those first 20 chapters. You're not going to struggle like that. It's just a little bit of a slower pace because you're waiting for
It's
some
war.
stuff. Yeah, you're waiting for some stuff, and I need a map. I feel like the next time we do this, we're going to need a map and like mark where things are because I struggled with like where things were.
Yes.
So we probably will do that. And then the last part, I really loved the last like 40%. Like it was super intriguing. So I don't.
Sarah, I have a question.
What?
Can you tell us where our take it off is?
Oh, so there's not really a moment.
I hate you.
What? Where? What?
No, don't.
I'm not
Okay.
going to
Okay.
explain what it is, but all
I
I
don't-
will,
Okay.
all I will say is
Spoiler it, which
no, no,
I
no,
don't.
no. I won't tell you, but I will say is
Oh.
what
okay.
I will say is it's not the same situation. It's not the same situation. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
I got there.
So like I feel like for anyone who understands that reference, which I always say chapter 29 is when it all turns out fine. It's not like that. It's a very different situation.
Journey.
It is yeah, you don't
Love the
feel the
journey.
same thing because other stuff is happening. So
Okay.
don't worry about that as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you on that.
I'm being serious.
No, she's right because from the teasers, that's kind of something that I gathered as well.
Yeah. So like don't think you're going to be like, okay, this is torturous. Like it's not like that.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it is, but it's not. Yeah.
It is, but it's not.
Yeah. I will tell you this, which I don't know if this helps anyone at all. When I was reading the book in the beginning, if you go back and you watch specifically my Crescent City Earth and Blood reaction videos, you will notice as each reaction video progresses, my whole bottom of my face like is slowly bleeding and breaking out because I was picking it out of stress. I didn't do that for this book, but I had a little bump in my lip for like 2 days straight because I was biting my lip so hard in the beginning that I literally like my mom was like, do you have like a cold sore? And I was like, no, it was literally from me biting my lip. Like from being so stressed out in the beginning. So I will tell you that I was
What 1 minute it's not comparable, and now you've got an actual wound from it.
Yeah, wait. Oh, I'll tell you like the one chapter. No, I won't tell you. It's early. There's something happens early on where like you're okay, but for like the first little
I'm
bit.
gonna need you to tell me privately
Yeah.
where that spot is.
Okay,
Same.
yeah. I for anyone who's read the first 5 chapters, you know quite a bit of why it's stressful.
Oh,
And
Avery.
then yeah. And then there's a little bit more, and then I want to say it's chapter 12, but don't count me on that. I feel like that's when I was like able to take a breath and then like kind of
That's the one where you said you wanted fan art too.
Oh no, wait. No, then it's earlier than that.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
earlier.
it's before that moment.
Earlier.
Okay.
It's good. Cool.
Yeah. There's a really funny moment with Kieran, and it's like right around that. So it's yeah. So don't worry, you're not going to be. But I really did enjoy this book. I just want to quickly say that I did enjoy it. There's lots of world building. I want to remind people because I feel like a lot of people when they started from Blood and Ash, they were like, "Oh, it's a romance fantasy." I would definitely say fantasy goes before romance in this by the time you get to this book.
Yeah, I didn't know that starting the series, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that. Let's see. Any information about the unseen? I don't remember. This tells you that I should have paid a little closer attention. Let's see. Oh, they love all the YouTube lives. We have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
These are always
fun.
yeah. I think you guys are really book 5 title reveal yet? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I have no idea what it would be too, so don't ask. I'm also really bad at guessing. I should have guessed A Light in the Flame. Did I? No. Not at all. So, let me see. Are you allowed to give us a hint with how long we will be without Cass? It's not a yes or no answer, so I'm not going to answer it, but it's not a yes or no answer, so I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah.
There's not a yeah.
He's
Don't
my
worry.
baby and I'm still unwell, so.
Yeah, don't worry too much. Oh, what big? Okay, no, we can save that one for later. What tropes do you hope to see in this book? This is a good one. Mortal peril.
Mortal Peril.
Immortal Peril. We all love that one.
We love a good mortal peril. I love a good fated mate.
Standard reuniting trope.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd love
yeah.
that.
You know what I want? I want the 3 of them to have that like group hug when they're like all back
Oh,
together.
he's so
I want that. I want the group hug where they're
Yeah,
just
and then it's
happy to be together. Yeah,
gonna turn into something else.
Don't worry. Okay, I will tell you. For anyone who's worried about like it what happens in this book feels natural. It doesn't feel pushed. It doesn't feel, oh, so don't worry about those types of things. It's not going to be like some books where you're like, if I was worried going into this that if we were heading into a joining situation, it was just going to be like, okay, let's go. Like, so don't, you'll be fine. I promise. We talked about our all-time favorite moment of the series. I think for me, it's when Poppy dies. Anyone else?
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese. Cheese is a good one.
I do like when Poppy dies.
We didn't talk about Spice, but I just want to quickly throw out my favorite Spice scene is when Castile reads the Miss Willa's journal to Poppy.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate the shower scene.
I was gonna say I like the shower scene too, but
Also the beach scene. Just
Oh,
throwing
that's
that
good.
in. Just so the I've
I'd say I like
go.
the feeding and fucking from a site.
Oh, gross.
With Niktos.
Niktos, in my opinion, is better at the spice and the man is
I'll look.
inexperienced. So it's only up from here, guys.
Let me
he is
tell
older.
you. Do you know what's
He
really
is older, but he's inexperienced.
for anyone who has not done this before, I highly, highly recommend that you read, I think it's chapter 41 of The Crown of Gilded Bones. Read that chapter because it's the first time Niktos interacts with Poppy, and then start a site. It is the best experience to do it like that because you see these parallels and it is so much fun. What?
I'm answering Amanda. No, I don't have it yet.
Oh, okay. Does anyone have it? No. Okay, so for anyone, well, I'll wait till you guys get it and then I'll answer my question about the Fury and Amryn because quite a few of us spiraled about that last night.
Yeah, I want to know about that too. Is it in Marco Polo? Did you put it in there?
No, but I mean, I'll explain it. It's like, I can't even really take credit for it. I mean, I can take partial credit for it. I'll take partial credit. I'll take 50%.
wait, should I leave since I haven't finished it yet?
No?
Okay,
It's not like a spoiler to the end of the book. It's just,
that's fine.
I
just
mean,
wanted to know if we're not going to talk about anything that's like at the very end. Then I'm gonna
You're not spoiled yet about anything, right?
nope, nothing.
Excellent.
where are you right
Integration.
now in the book?
I have been, I'm on chapter 30, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So she's about halfway through.
Hmm.
Ish. A little
Yeah.
before halfway.
Have you gotten any spice?
Yeah, chapter 21.
Oh, just that one.
There's
Yeah,
also chapter 3 spice.
3.
Like
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
bad question.
okay, yes, chapter 3, but like I'm talking about like,
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't wait. You not roll your eyes at chapter 3.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did not
Chapter
put it.
3.
Absolute. That is unacceptable.
Yeah, I guess
Some
you don't. I
disrespect
guess
for
you.
chapter
I guess you
3.
don't get. First off, did you see my reactions? I think I was the first person to react to it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was so happy. It was unreal. I was like, "I don't care where this book goes from here because I got what I wanted." Like that's all that matters.
You know, I feel like the Danica's birthday of Hosef was actually chapter 15. Like it was so no,
Oh,
not
yes.
3 for me.
Yes.
The plot was like shoom.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I would say like it picks up pretty quickly.
And the submarines.
Yeah, the submarine was a good time.
Yeah, I did like that.
I'm not at the submarine yet.
Well, when you
Oh,
get there,
that's
just
good.
know.
The only submarine I've had is when when they sink them.
It's our nickname for merman.
Do you have any theories about who Day is?
So okay, wait, do we want to get into this?
I mean, at
Should
this
we
point,
do this? Should we do this on a From Blood and Ash?
That's why I say I don't want to like
Haven't.
okay. We'll talk off camera,
We'll talk-
but I'm very curious about this.
we'll go into the Crescent City Marco Polo. I'll talk about where I'm at and what my thoughts are and everything.
Somebody asked when will it be on Kindle and Audible?
It should. Oh, Audible will be like early this morning, aka tomorrow morning. Like it's usually like 3 or 4 a.m. my time at least. And then the Kindle, I would guess in the next 15
Still waiting.
minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. But here's a good question. I'll give you guys. If JLA does a book of Cass's POV, which we know she is going to, what moments in the series do you want specifically Castiel's POV? I'm gonna
I
go to the
actually have to
bathroom,
run to
have
the
fun.
bathroom as well, but I would like the cheese scene from Cass's POV. Thank you.
God, you're
Oh my
Second
God.
City right there, ladies and gentlemen.
In person.
Poppy is dying. That's all I want. I just want to know, like, how much is he freaking out?
Wait, I'm trying to mute
Yeah.
this.
I want like as much as possible from him. Just
Yeah. Like
I
the-
love a male POV. I
Me too.
love it in every book. I always want it.
Look,
Yeah,
people
I
were
want-
hating earlier on Midnight Sun. I was a Midnight Sun fan. Just so you know.
Of course. You are.
I'm surprising, but okay, yeah.
Fine. I got to simp over my Edward Cullen, my first book boyfriend.
I think like seeing their wedding and also like what he was doing when she was locked up. Like
Yeah.
and, like all of the things, you know, when they weren't together. Like I would love to know like, okay, what were you doing? Like who were you talking
Yeah.
to? Who were you meeting
He
with?
has a
I
lot
just-
of POV from before he met her. Like I
Like-
want like his
Um,
decision making leading up to those moments, you know?
I need
Mhm.
more of his decision making process. Like I want to see it because I'm like, my
Yeah.
God, why did you think
Yeah.
this was a good idea?
Well, and all the moments he has with Kieran apart from Poppy, because you know
Right.
Kieran's like, dude, what
Are
are
you
you
kidding
doing?
me?
Like
Yeah.
yeah, all those conversations. Like even like if it's the cave scene, like him going and
They'd be
getting the
good.
towels from Kieran, like there's got to be like a fun conversation at that point.
Where are you? Whoa.
So
Oh,
someone
somebody just said they got it.
someone
on
said
Apple.
it's always on Apple
On
Books early.
Apple.
I don't
um,
have it yet.
Did I
I
pre-order
pre-ordered
it?
in October, so I'm just waiting.
Let me just see. Did I pre-order it? I feel like I do this every time.
I did
My
that
heart.
with Crescent City. I was like, oh shoot. I only ordered the physical copy.
Where is my
Oh, I
Kindle?
did. Oh my God. Good job, Sarah.
Kill you.
You already pre-ordered it. Winner, winner.
Where is my Kindle?
Yeah. Will all of you be staying up? Is anyone gonna? Will anyone staying
I
up?
have
and
to
reading?
work tomorrow, so
Izzy is.
Not
I-
super late.
I will probably stay up for at least an hour.
I'm probably gonna try to get to chapter 12 now.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's the plan.
Yeah, I have
It's
to read
a.
the
You know what?
first five-
It's a decent stopping point.
Okay.
I
well,
mean-
there's a-
Oh,
It's a bit of a cliffhanger, but I think it's fine. It's not super crazy.
I'll be staying up reading Crescent City. So
Oh, I'm excited
Nice.
about that. Have fun. Get to when does
I'll
this
hop into Marco Polo.
when does the sub stuff happen? Is that like in the 40s?
I mean, it's got to be around where she's at.
Okay.
Well, what? Oh, you can't. We'll
Okay.
talk-
When
like,
yeah,
what's
when we
the-
get off, we'll check. We'll check. Ooh, someone said Reaver or Seti.
what?
Reaver or
What
Seti?
about Reaver?
Which one do you prefer? Reaver or Seti?
Seti's a horse. What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you,
Izzy, Amanda wants our reaction.
I
Woo!
saw that.
Someone
I'll do it.
someone said if you had to pick Cass, Kieran, or Nyktos,
Oh, that's
how many
not fair.
how many would pick Cass?
Okay, so I would pick.
No, just how many would you?
But I just reread Niktos.
I know, but just think about it. Which one?
Do this
Cass,
tonight.
we got one Cass. How many would pick Kieran? How many would pick Nyktos?
I think I'm there
right
now.
now?
I think I'm there now.
Here's the thing. Cass is too funny, and I can't have somebody funnier than me.
Okay,
Oh
my
my
thing
God.
is Cass is too forward. Like it drives me. Like if I was actually Poppy, I would be like,
Yeah.
you have to stop.
I yeah,
Kieran
Yeah.
tones him down.
I think my love for Castile is infinite, but I think like realistically, like I would probably get along better with Niktos.
Yeah, and I'd annoy the hell out of Kieran. He would not like me.
I was gonna say I would annoy the hell out of him too, but I feel like I don't know.
You
Oh,
would annoy him in an endearing way. I would annoy him in a, oh my God,
that's
throw off a
really
cliff
sweet
way.
that you think it's endearing. I appreciate that. Oh, they just got it. Okay, looks like people are getting it. It's downloading.
I got it.
Okay,
I
good.
say I got my email, but it's not showing up yet. Oh, there it is. Yay.
Let's see. Where is it? My phone is officially on that timer, so like everything is shut off.
Oh yeah, my
Oh,
bed.
no.
Like,
Oh yeah, there
Like,
it is.
look, here we
Oh,
go.
look how
says,
cute it looks
"Sleep
in this
well."
set. Yeah,
I'm not
same.
asleep. I love that you think I'm asleep.
Oh, bless.
You're never asleep.
Okay, friends. Well, before everyone leaves, first off, go enjoy the book. I will let you guys know in Discord when we are doing our live for the spoilers. I think it's in 2 weeks for anyone who's wondering, but I'll like give you the full date and everything and all that fun stuff. But go enjoy it. Everyone go love it. Yeah, everyone give Kate major props because she's got all the knowledge. That's, she's incredible and amazing. The notes for a site and a Kingdom Flesh and Fire for the Patreon members should be up tomorrow, I believe. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It just takes longer every time. And then, yeah, so that's about it. Oh, let me open the Discord channels really quick. Let me do that for you guys.
Oh, and you are also going to talk about your Fury theory.
Yeah, I'll let everyone clear out if you don't want to hear it, but let me go ahead and open the Discord channel, so just give me a second. It's always this is the thing people don't know about Discord. It's a process to set up a Discord. And people always forget.
Yeah, I had to add a bot to mine the other day, and I almost had a conniption fit.
You should
I
have just
almost
called me.
you. Yeah,
I would have helped you.
it's fine. I figured it out.
I was like, I'll help you. Okay, cool. Everything is.
I'm so excited.
I love when it doesn't sync. Hold on. Did it not sync? Did I not save it? Fudge a duck, I didn't save it.
What?
Anyone? I really.
What are we freaking out about?
Discord.
Discord.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No. No. Great. Okay. I think you should be fine now.
Ashley, your comment's the cutest thing ever.
What is her comment? Let me see.
Thanks for listening to us all.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Amanda's offering to do it
Oh,
my.
because she's
yeah,
a real
do you
hero.
yeah, Amanda, they just need to have writing access. Everything else should be fine. Yeah, okay. All right, you ready for the Amarin theory?
Yeah.
I'm good to be here.
Ready.
Okay, so
Yeah, you should be fine to be here, Katie.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine. I can skirt around some stuff. So a lot of people believe that Amber and Fury are connected because they look somewhat similar, which is a bit of a loophole, but whatever. We're just gonna pretend like they're connected, okay? Because for theory's sake. So Sarah did confirm in a live that Amren was a biblical angel. She's always said that. There's even a direct quote saying that she's like an assassin type angel, that she's like fallen, that her, she mentions in Act of War that there's a father, so everyone knew that. But the problem was we could never connect her to Crescent City because obviously the angels were created by the Asterian Crescent City. So someone in my Discord put a photo, which Ashley, you would appreciate, that my deacon grandfather called to tell my mom that I was correct, that there's 9 types of angels mentioned in the Bible and in Judaism as well, but they're mentioned a little in a different order, but it is the same type of angels. For anyone who doesn't know, Sarah was a religious studies major. She also is Jewish. She's practicing, which is really cool, because she does incorporate a lot of religion in her books, which is I really love. And the very top of the angel pyramid is the seraphim, which obviously there are seraphim in ACOTAR. But if you read the description of Seraphim, it says that they have flaming wings, which we all know from ACOWAR that is what Amryn looks like when she came out of the cauldron. And then you also read a little bit further about the Seraphim. They're kind of described as these like assassin. Oh, they're basically the highest level because they protect God and like all this stuff. So my theory is that Amryn and Fury are both Seraphim in the biblical sense, which I don't know if that's connected to the same type of Seraphim on the island with Miriam and Draken. That's the only flaw in that. But that would make sense because Fury has also shown that she has superiority with the Asteri, so it makes me wonder if they might be the same thing, and maybe Amryn was an original form. Also, if anyone doesn't remember, the Book of Breathings was in an old tongue, which was also part of a biblical side, which could make sense why Fury also speaks that. So I basically think that some people think they're Asteri. That doesn't check out for me, but after you read the end of War of Two Queens, or not War, after you read the end of Sky and Breath, you will understand why that doesn't check out for me. But it checks out for me that they are both Seraphim. There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying. My husband is kind of like an expert on the different types of angels
Yep.
and stuff, and I'm trying to convince him to read Crescent City so he might help us
I was gonna
parcel
say,
some stuff
it was
out.
funny because when people were asking me last night in the Discord, I was tagging you not to like summon you, but to just like tell people like who it was that I was talking about. And I was like, her husband knows a lot about angels, so we're gonna like confirm this because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Izzy, can you go test the channels on Discord really quick? She needs somebody that's not a court member.
Okay.
Just see if you can type in them. Oh, Chelsea's also gonna test. Cool. You can put just GIFs in there. If you can put a GIF in, you're good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I will say this. I think I have one spoiler reaction video. it was the night I called Avery with like pure panic. I was so upset. I don't have any other reaction videos. I don't know why I didn't film any. So you guys won't get any from me, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
Is there a specific chapter that we should definitely record our reaction for?
Yes, but I'll tell you after the live.
Okay, thanks.
I don't. Okay.
Oh,
It looks like it's
good.
it looks like
Perfect.
it's good.
Yep, you're good. I love that game of Kieran. Okay, well, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. I am going to chat with these lovely ladies for a little bit, but I hope they're going to hear you for about 5 seconds, so don't say anything super crazy. I'll tell you when you're clear. But I will let you all have a lovely evening. Oh, are y'all going to be listening to the music that... Oh, hold on. Before you guys leave, let me pull up her playlist because I can tell you some of the songs that I was like, so good. Also, why was Kate, you're too sweet to me because you should have called me out for never following you on Instagram because I just noticed that and I was like...
My Instagram is it's like I only do book stuff in my story for the most part, but I did just get a new plant it's called a Queen Anthurium, and when the War of Two Queens gets here, I'm so excited to do my first plant and book together with two queens.
I love that. Okay, what is the one?
Wait, what is your favorite plant? I can ask this after.
Ooh,
too.
chapter 8. Chapter 8 is the one that you guys it will make you feel a little better.
I just saw
Okay.
What?
the song.
Yeah. Chapter 8, you'll be fine.
Jeez.
Chapter 13 is an excellent song choice for that. And I love that song.
What's up with chapter 5, bruh?
I'm really not gonna be okay until I get to chapter 12, am I?
Chapter 20? That's a good one. Oh, wait, maybe it's chapter 21. It's either 20 or 21. Hold on.
I'm annoyed with you
Right now. Of the important stuff.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Now that I have the book on my Kindle, I can quickly look.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Wow,
it's
in the
20
air tonight.
It's 21. 21 was like one of my favorites. I'm just going to throw that out there. Might not be for everyone else, but totally was one of my favorites.
The Phil Collins is really throwing me, man.
Wait, let me look at that one. I was just looking at that.
You know what? Tarzan didn't have to slap as hard as it did, but it did.
You know,
Yeah,
my
that's
first
true.
concert was a Phil Collins concert, and I was 9 months old. My parents took me.
That's amazing.
That's an awesome first concert,
Yeah.
man.
Was
right?
it Phil Collins or was it Genesis?
No, it was Phil Collins. Oh, I don't know. Let me ask them. They told me it was Phil Collins, but it might have been Genesis. They didn't. I don't know. I'll ask.
Mine was Bon Jovi.
Oh,
Paramore.
I love that.
Rascal Flats.
That checks out.
I was taken to it against my will.
No, wait, mine was KT Tunstall.
I don't know about 35. I don't remember.
Somebody mentioned one of your favorite songs from the playlist, Sarah, in the comments.
Which one? Oh.
You'll see.
40, I feel like, was a good one. Oh, yeah, 40 was a good one. 40 was a good one. 43 for 4 through 45. First off, the song choice for 43 had me crying. The fact that she picked that song for that chapter is incredible. Incredible.
I feel like I'm not gonna look at this because it'll.
Don't.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
It's
not
like semi-spoilery.
and then
I'm gonna...
I feel like her end songs, they're all instrumental, so that's interesting.
Wait, Rascal Flats is on this? No.
Rascal Flats, Phil
No.
Collins, 9 Inch Nails.
The 9 Inch Nails song.
No, somebody's saying no Rascal Flatts slander because I said I was dragged against my will to that concert.
Why did you
I feel like
Rascal Flats?
one of the song choices.
I was
in-
young. I didn't know them, and it was pre-Cars. So
Okay, you're making me feel ancient.
I feel like 25 is a good song, but I don't remember that chapter like off the top of my head.
Pre-Cars.
sorry.
Okay, well, anyways.
Okay,
All right.
Okay, I
Bye,
will.
friends. Okay.
thanks everyone.
So are you guys staying up and reading it? What's the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm gonna read to chapter.
No.
I'm gonna read to chapter 12.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
anything, I'll reread chapter 1 since I read
Do
it
we
back like right
have
when the site came out. But
Do you want me to make a Marco Polo for all of us?
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, I was like, I don't think we have our.
No, we don't, but I can make one.
We need a War of Two Queens spoiler.
Okay. Oh, can I use that gif with the honeydew? Because it's my favorite.